Hello.
Daniel Lira.
I am happy to see you.
Daniel Lira.
I
Mm.
am happy.
Well, I am hoping to do something today
I am.
that I am that I'm finding very difficult.
hmm
I don't know if you have any idea.
I guess it's an eye.
I'll give you a second guess.
Two eyes.
Yeah, here we go.
How are you?
Good, Daniel Lira.
I think. I
Yeah,
think. I just
I
think
think. Mm-hmm.
we deserve
Yeah, an
a
idiot award.
subscribe. If maybe someone's here and haven't subscribed,
Yeah,
our title deserves a subscribe.
yeah.
I'm just
We're
saying. I don't know.
begging a little bit, but
No.
sure.
I just
Oh, God.
think
Okay.
I am right with that.
So just subscribe so we can shut up about the eyes. So we are gonna paint the eyes along with everything else in the portrait, obviously. Um, um, you know what's it's so annoying, but I still haven't hit my drawing. This is like very annoying to me now. It's
annoying?
becoming really, really annoying that I just couldn't draw what I wanted to draw. Even like yesterday, I'm close, but you know, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Do you think maybe it has to do with the fact that you're still seeing what was before? Because that happens
No.
to me, and that like makes me like I know I have to adjust sometimes. So let's say I have a 90-degree angle, and I
Mhm.
know I have to do it at a 45.
Okay, that was a
But
big
because
miss.
I'm seeing, it's
Yeah.
just giving an example.
Yeah, I know,
Because I'm
but
seeing
I
the
mean,
90
it's
before,
like,
I just go to the middle. So I just
tremendous
do
whiff.
like a 70, 60,
Yeah.
60 something, but I never get quite to the place I
Again,
will
60 to
if I
90.
Nicolas, if I had like something, if I didn't have something
I think that's an
down.
eyesight problem. 60 to
Jesus
90.
Christ. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that can be fixed with a
Well,
drawing.
the sun came out
Yeah.
pretty strong.
So, yeah, it's okay. Um yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do know. It's just one, let's do the no excuse version. It's just that my drawing is not good enough. That's easy one. And the second one is just that it's I'm way too close. I'm way too close to be drawing something that's this size because I lose my proportion. I just totally lose it. And with the inability to just step back, it's just you know, I don't know. That would be the one that sounds like an excuse, but that's why I started with the one that is just plain and simple, which is like, no, your drawing is just not good enough. So, um, I mean, I could try to adjust things, but I do feel that I'm at a point where I just don't know how to fix it. Because I think if I start scrambling stuff, then everything has to move again. And if everything has to move again, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what to do. So I'm gonna try to not block in. Like I think we can advance the painting quite a bit, based on the marks that we did yesterday. And let's do a second judgment. After we've kind of settled into the painting. I think that's fair. I think that would be the fair thing to do. So,
Aldo was asking, how big is the painting?
It's not big. It's not
It
a
is
big
big.
painting. No, it's a big painting to be doing in a desk where there was a prior drawing, like an underdrawing that I wasn't quite happy about. But and again, this is you can just say, "Hey, that's an excuse." And yeah, I'll take it. Like I'll totally own that. But, from somebody who has made, tons of like way larger paintings. I think my largest painting was about, you know, a little over 10 feet by 10 feet, like 10 feet by 11 feet, maybe.
¿Cuánto es eso?
Como 3 por 3 algo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my largest painting to date. And I did 3 paintings of that size. So, and and well, this was an experience when I was younger, but I used to work at a mural painting studio, and even though I painted very little there, I have to be honest. Um, I watched how other people painted, and you know, these enormous paintings, they would like literally sometimes it would block in with something that was like close to like a broom. They would tie brushes, like huge brushes, to broom handles, just to paint with enough distance so that you could see what you were doing. So it's not like a nothing excuse when you say I just need distance, or when you always hear painting instructor tell you step back. It's not just so they can like gain some perspective or something that's like a little more like abstract. It's like no, you literally have to step back to see what you're doing. Yeah, so I don't have that ability when I'm working close, and of course I can control my drawing. I mean, our painted lives started with paintings about this
Yeah,
size.
that's why I was saying it's big,
Yeah,
like
OPL.
in comparison to what we've done.
Yeah, so this would be 8 times bigger than like what we started with.
Yes, it is. If I'm not mistaken, it's
It's a
60 centimeters by 30. No,
no,
60 by 42. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's a double spread of an A3 size, which I don't know if it would amount to an A2 size.
I don't know,
I'm not sure.
but I know that. I mean, half of it is 42 by 30. So this one's 62 by 42.
Okay.
60 by 42. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea, Aldo, it's like the proportions in the portrait are slightly bigger than real
Yeah,
life.
I would say this is yeah. Yeah, it's not quite your proportions. I
It's
mean,
bigger.
because I'm cutting here and I'm not seeing where the other side of the head is turning, it seems narrower, but yeah, but this is quite big actually.
Yeah, it's
This is
bigger
quite
than my
big.
face. So, uh, let's see. So Liad was saying good morning,
Morning.
and Liad was saying I'm on my way out. Be back soon.
Okay, have a
Okay.
good trip out.
Trip out.
Have a good trip out. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, don't trip when you're going out, please. Like, take care of yourself, Leah. Please.
Cody was saying good morning, guys.
Cody,
Hey,
don't trip either.
Good morning. Nicolas Mijarovic was saying hello, guys. Nicola, long time no see.
Mm.
This, like Nicola being here, is a reminder that we have to complete our
Yeah.
album.
Sticker album, yeah.
Yeah,
Before the World Cup for sure.
we have to.
Yeah. Oh, we would have to take it on our trip to use. I mean, to be able to like put it to some use.
Yeah. Well, we see the matches. Well, what we can see of the matches.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, we can talk to my brother to see. I could convince him to if he's not. I don't know if he's got cable actually. I really don't. I don't think so.
But do you think we could see it in the apps we buy?
Oh, we would have to get like a VPN. So I could probably pay for a VPN. So
I think we could.
Yeah, we could.
No, and well, I think that if I'm not mistaken, your brother has that
A VPN?
No. That app that we use.
Well,
Yeah, because I know.
No, I don't know if he's got both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just one. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could get a
the
VPN.
one that you would get, I'm guessing like ESPN is going to do, or some version of ESPN is going to do the World Cup. But sometimes it was NBC Sports, so I have no idea who has the rights for the World
but I
Cup
think
in the
ESPN.
US.
Oh, wait, because I think that ESPN has it. No.
No, sometimes it's NBC Sports. Is it in the US?
Let me see.
Like they get the bigger things. They get the Olympics and
It says the 2022 FIFA World Cup will be broadcast live across Fox Sports,
Fox. Okay, well, Disney.
as well as Telemundo in Spanish.
Okay, so yeah, our app would be okay.
Mm-hmm. We
Um,
just need a VPN.
yeah, and yeah, I think NordVPN works with Disney because it's hard. Sometimes, like, you have to be sure that the VPN you get will let you watch either Netflix or
Oh, but I think the one we got
Star
when
or
we were in Spain, remember
yeah.
it worked.
I think I got ExpressVPN just a trial.
So, Aaron Gall was saying good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Aaron. Good morning. Prince Barebones was saying good morning. Good
Morning.
morning, Prince Barebones. Cody was saying the angle is way off. Haha. The angle of what? The angle in the painting? You saying? Or oh no, my example of the angle?
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Danny,
it was an example, but yeah,
I
if
know
it's
you went 40. You know.
45 to 90. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was trying to make it like super exaggerated to
Can you see
like
that? What I did
no,
there?
I can't. Oh, let me see cuz yeah, I can.
I mean, Danny, that's like
I know,
it's
I know.
half.
But I was trying to say that sometimes when you have something like under what you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
you are not that risky with your decisions even though you know you have to do it that way. You always like strike to the middle. That happens to me.
Yeah, I
So
I
that's
thought you were
why
gonna
I was
give
saying
this example. Yeah,
what
you're off a little bit. You're off. It's hard. Like this. This bit is hard. I get it. This, I think it's like legal blindness.
okay.
Like you wouldn't get a driver's license with this. It's like make a right turn. Yeah.
um yeah, Cody was saying no, Danny's 90-degree angle. Haha. I know you were just making an example, just joking around. Yeah. And I know that I went for a very exaggerated example.
Mm.
But sometimes that's how wrong you are. Like
Oof.
you, as in everyone.
Me?
No.
Are you trying to tell me something
Like
today?
oneself is
Sure.
is
Sure, keep
wrong
going.
with drawing decisions sometimes.
Yeah. Again, blindness. That
Um
merits a visit to the doctor, I feel.
Noran was saying hello.
Hello?
Hey Noran. Margo Delgado dice hola.
I'm
Hola
Margo.
Margo, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo va todo? Gabriel Pozo dice, hola a todos, espero estén bien. Saludos, pintando también por acá.
Qué bueno, Gabriel.
Chévere que pinta Gabriel. Ricard was saying, hey, Danny and Nico, did you know that today is apparently the International Self-Portrait Day?
What?
Oh, I had no idea.
I mean, there's days for everything, right?
Yeah.
It's probably that and the day for like donuts without holes.
Is there a long coat Chihuahua
what?
day?
I'm sure there's a Chihuahua day. There's days for everything.
Long coat Chihuahua day.
I wonder if you have to apply somewhere to get a day,
Long
or if you could just establish that. Like,
or
is there
just
like
Chihuahua day, I
an
guess.
entity that you like an institution that you have to like apply to see if they could grant you like the International Day
May
of the Waffle?
May 14.
See, it's whatever.
International Chihuahua Day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like you can just establish that.
So we're gonna celebrate that when we have chili.
No, I'm sorry.
Where was I? Mm. Salmon Kutcher was saying hello all. Hey Salmon, how are you? Gary Davis was saying hello from Ireland.
Oh, hello.
Hey Gary, how are you? Hello from Colombia, as I always say.
Mm-hmm.
Ibrahim Salah was saying, if you want to tell me, I can go on forever. If you want to tell you what, Ibrahim? Maybe.
Are you sure there's no more context for
No.
that comment, Daniel Ira?
I'm sure. It says, if you want to tell me, smiling face, I can go on forever.
I don't know. That sounds like I don't know.
Nathan Parrott,
You
so
know?
Nate,
Hey, Nate.
was saying, good morning, you wonderful people. No matter
Oh.
the struggle, we always learn from this, Nicolas. Great stuff.
Always.
Oh, that's so nice. How are you, Nate? What are you up to right now? Nicholas Mijarovich was saying, I know. I'm not able to catch all live streams, sadly, but I'm always here in spirit. Haha.
Thank
And
you.
apparently all over stickers across Colombia.
Yeah, all over.
Yeah, all over.
Famous here.
I think it was
Step out of the plane and like
Yeah.
confetti,
it was
marching band.
the player that cost the most
The least, maybe.
in printing, in the printing process, because they printed like 5 million stickers of the number 4.
Okay,
But-
finally the sun is coming down.
Yeah.
Did that change a lot for you?
No,
No? I mean, the camera adjusts, but
no, it's not. I mean, it's like you can see it more in me, as in my face, because
Okay.
when it's the sun, I'm like a white thing with eyes,
mhm.
and now you can see me a little bit more.
Mm.
But no, in the camera, it's good. It's good. I think the camera does a good work while adjusting.
Okay.
Banjiro Masati dice, hola, feliz día de todos los santos. Hola, Banjiro. Yo, pregunta,
What's that?
¿acá en Colombia se celebra el Día de Todos los Santos? O sea, ¿hay como alguna celebración?
No,
Es que creo que hay países que sí.
pues sí, pero
Pero estoy preguntando.
me preguntaste y creo que no.
Mira. Sí. Sí, en México, en España.
Sí, en México sí, obviamente.
Sí, pero en España también. Acá
No, pues sí, pero me
acá no.
preguntaste aquí.
Pues sí, pero no sé
Pues,
por qué
qué
te
pena, yo
ofendiste con
yo
la
estoy
pregunta.
respondiendo lo que me
No
preguntan.
sé si eso significa que lo quieres celebrar.
Yo
Tranquilo, lo
estoy-
puedes celebrar.
No.
Tranquilo,
¿Sabes por qué no?
tranquilo.
Porque nunca lo hemos celebrado.
Tranquilo.
Nunca.
No, pregunto porque me da curiosidad, porque, o sea, uno acá nunca lo celebra. Entonces,
Mm.
ay, bueno. Gabriel Pozo dice, un autorretrato y carita feliz. Ay, qué chévere, Gabriel. ¿Y cómo está, qué, Gabriel, empezándolo? Ya son varias sesiones que... Estás como
¿Me vas a
burloncito
pegar?
hoy,
Yo
pues,
no estoy diciendo nada.
si
No estoy
sigues
diciendo
así.
nada. ¿Ese qué? Es como si me fueras a pegar.
Ibrahim Salah was saying, the message got deleted. Haha, strange. Yeah, we only see your message that says, if you want to tell me, I can go on forever. But let us know. Maybe if you included a link, that's why YouTube doesn't show the comment. So, Margo dice, aquí en España hoy es festivo.
Claro, eso, cuando se celebra ese, sí. Ese es festivo en esos sitios.
Acá no.
No, no sé, Linda. De pronto deberías averiguar.
Guillaume Lheureux
Mm.
saying hello. Hey,
Hello.
Guillaume, how are you? I'm a little bit cold. I think I'm going to go for a sweater. So I'll be back in a sec. Is it
Okay.
okay?
Of course. I'm painting a very deep, sort of, darkish eye socket. Which they always, I always enjoy these kind of darker eye sockets that hold, the eye within this very deep tone. Because I've been shying away from making this like darker, but I do think that there's like a nice there's gonna be a nice tone to it if when you realize that this is all shade and you only get these little moments, kind of like rim lighting or side lighting, that give you a sense of the form turning. So
Hi.
hi, how was the trip?
I didn't trip off as you were wishing.
Would never. What?
Leah, you were
n-
like, have a good trip off.
No, first of all, trip off. I don't even know what that
Trip
is.
out, trip down your knees.
Oh my God.
That's how
Poor
you
Leah,
said it.
what are you saying?
That's how you sounded when you were like, have a good trip out. Ibrahim Salah
Yeah.
is saying, I want all your top 10.
Oh, what?
Top 10 drawings you love. Top 10 gouache artists. Top 10 watercolor artists. Top 10 sculptures. Top
Okay.
10 paintings of your own. Top 10 paintings you haven't
Oh,
seen.
Jesus Christ.
I know it's a lot.
Yes,
Ibrahim, and
that's a lot.
yeah, and also it's a lot to know.
I don't even
like-
know. I haven't thought about.
Exactly. I think we would have to think about it.
Choose one, Ibrahim. Choose one of those. And we can try to make a list right here.
Well, yes, but it's hard to
Yeah.
to know for sure.
I mean, it's your list. You can say anything you want.
Yeah, but I like to have a little bit of time to know that I'm not betraying.
Mm. I can cobble something up together. I can make a list out of my butt.
You can okay. Meora was saying, "Hi Danny, hi Nico. It's a national holiday in Germany, and I'm glad I catch the live stream again.
Oh wow! I'm sure it's not the All Saints holiday.
Maybe
No. Germany's like.
Germany.
Oh no, it's Protestant like that.
Holiday.
Or we could ask.
November. All Saints Day,
What?
and it's
How does that work?
Allerheiligen. No, what? Allerheiligen.
Okay, that I don't get.
Allerheiligen.
Oh, you can explain that to us.
You see, it wasn't. It wasn't a bad question to ask about the All Saints
I mean
celebration, because here we don't, and this is a very religious country.
Right, and
So
Germany historically it's about freedom of religion. So
Nicholas Mijarevic was saying it is here in Croatia as well.
right, but Croatia I could understand.
Well, but not in Colombia. And Colombia is like a very, very religious country.
Maybe it's a European tradition, like a Catholic European tradition, I would say. And maybe it makes sense that it would go to Mexico. I mean, that it obviously
Dice,
isn't
según los
Spain.
archivos del Vaticano, fue en el año 835 cuando el Papa Gregorio IV proclamó la festividad del Día de Todos los Santos.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds weird to me for Germany, but
Bueno, aunque acá
there was a German pope.
en este dice 835, en el año 835, y en este otro dice que en el año 609.
Okay, a long time ago though.
Dice que el 13 de mayo en el año 609, cuando dedicó el Panteón de Roma como iglesia en honor a la Virgen María y todos los mártires, el Papa Bonifacio IV, pero en el otro decían Gregorio IV.
Okay, so
Sí.
Yeah, but it's not. Eso es el Día de la Virgen, el 13 de mayo.
No, dice Día de Todos los Santos.
Sí, pero lo que estabas leyendo era como el 13
El 13 de mayo, pues sí, pero si eso dice.
Pues sí, no sé.
O sea, literalmente es en CNN y dice Día de Todos los Santos, origen, historia y por qué se celebra.
¿Y tenía que ver con el panteón?
Mira, la fecha actual del 1 de noviembre fue establecida por el Papa Gregorio III durante su mandato. Eso lo dice después de lo del 13 de mayo y dice cuando dedicó una capilla en la Basílica de San Pedro de Roma en honor a todos los santos. Entonces no sé por qué le cuentan a uno sobre el 13 de mayo. Bueno.
Sí, curioso.
Sí. El caso es que acá, curiosamente, no se celebra.
No, nosotros no. I mean, we don't celebrate it, but we don't lack holidays to be religious holidays. Oh my God, we don't lack any of those. So we're doing fine. I think we're one of the countries with most holidays in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Countries with more holidays.
Yeah, I think we are. I don't know when I heard that or read that or something, but we're crazy.
So I'm trying to see in the top 10, but we're not in the top 10.
No?
Nope. So
Who has
number
more?
1.
Like,
It says Myanmar.
Okay.
I want to see.
How many do they have?
32 public holidays.
Oh,
with
Jesus
some
Christ.
holidays lasting as long as 5 days to
Oh,
8 days.
Okay. Yeah. You can't compete with that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, I thought it was going to be like, but that's a whole month of holiday.
Then it is Nepal,
Okay.
Iran.
Iran.
Well, yeah, Iran. I'm sorry.
You ran with it. Don't worry.
Iran,
Yeah. I'm just.
Sri Lanka,
Okay.
Malaysia, Bangladesh, Egypt, Cambodia, India, and Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein? Liechtenstein?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a weird one. I know nothing about Liechtenstein. Or I think it's Liechtenstein.
Let's say holidays in Colombia. 18 national holidays per year.
That's a lot.
It says among the countries with the most official holidays. But I don't know if that means among the 20 countries with the most.
But it's a lot.
among
I
the-
know that we have a lot, to be honest. It's just not usual to have as many as we do.
Yeah, it says the majority of holidays in this predominantly Catholic country. It's 12 out of 18.
Yeah.
The religious.
Yeah, we really milk it.
Yeah. Yeah, but we don't celebrate that one
No?
year.
Maybe it's like too much. Like we have so many other holidays for specific saints that it's like, yeah, I think it's a little too much if you have one for all saints. It's like, no.
No, but that wouldn't make sense.
It's like we have
here.
one for every saint.
No, because
We don't want to group them. We celebrate all, like each of them.
no, because look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I have them all here. So it's New Year's Day, the Epiphany, St. Joseph's Day, Maundy Thursday.
What?
Maundy Thursday?
I've never celebrated.
We
that.
celebrate it here.
What is Moundy?
El Abril 14. I don't know what that is. I'm reading them in English. I'm reading the list
I
of
have
the
no
18
idea what that is.
holidays we celebrate here.
No.
Then the Good Friday,
Oh, that's Good Thursday. That's like Holy Week. We get a
Maundy
whole week.
Thursday,
Yeah, we get Wednesday, Thursday,
Friday,
and Friday. And
Labor Day, Ascension Day, Corpus Christi, Feast of the Sacred Heart, Feast of St. Peter's and Paul,
okay.
Independence Day, Battle of Boyacá, Assumption of Mary, Day of the Races, All Saints Day.
What? That's supposed to be today.
No, it says November 7. What?
Okay.
So
Is this like
we
Mother's
do
Day
celebrate it, but
that
in
everyone
another...
celebrates it like whenever they want? The world is crazy.
So apparently we do celebrate it, but not
Okay.
the day it is.
Okay, there we go.
So perfect. It makes sense with
Yeah,
Colombia.
we couldn't, like, come on, we couldn't let that. Now I feel better.
Salmon Catcher was saying, wow, Danny said the name of Iran right. Iran is wrong. Iran is the right way.
We always say it right, I feel.
Iran?
Yeah, Iran.
Yeah, but you said Iran
No,
when I was reading?
no.
Iran?
Yeah, Iran.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought they were like trying to say that maybe you corrected something that I was saying correct. But no, yeah, and we say it here.
And
I
it's
mean,
probably
in Spanish,
closer
it's
to
Iran.
It's probably
So.
closer to how we say it in Spanish.
Iran, yeah. Let's see. Miora was saying, at the moment I'm knitting and listening to you. Thank you for your company. Oh, that's so nice.
Thank
you
you.
for your company, Miora. And Miura was also saying it's not in all parts of Germany. I'm from North, I don't know how to say it.
Oh,
North Rhine,
okay, yeah.
Westphalia.
Oh,
And
that's
here we have it.
oh, that's my grandfather was from Mülheim, so I think we are close. I think we would be close.
Samuel Kummer was saying, linguistic students here. You're all correct. None of it's real. Mm. Carla Anglado is saying, está diciendo, hola, aquí en México es Día de Muertos. ¿Ustedes ponen ofrenda? No, acá en Colombia no.
No, nosotros no
No
celebramos el
celebramos
Día
el
de los
Día de los
Muertos. Ese sí
Muertos,
es
no.
solo México,
Ujú.
que es muy linda la tradición.
Sí, es súper linda, pero no, acá no.
Pero todo el mundo se ha robado un poco el Día de los Muertos y
Pues
las
porque es muy
Catrinas.
chévere, entonces la gente
Sí, sí.
cree que... Pero no, acá no se celebra. Ni hay pan de muertos ni nada. Eso del pan que sale el niño Dios,
Ah, pero ese sí,
se me hace lo
en la rosca.
máximo. O sea, yo sería feliz siempre tratando de ver si me sale el niño Dios en la rosca. John Gavin was saying hello from Wales. Hey John, how are you?
All right, yeah, we're getting our, cross the Atlantic community today.
Salmon Kutcher was saying most English speakers say iron.
No, do you think so? I feel they don't.
Well, maybe some people.
Yeah, maybe.
Rosaline Dion was
Oh.
saying hi Nico, Danny, and chat. Hey,
Where in the
Roslyn
world
is
Carmen
Rosaline
Rosaline?
Dion.
Yeah, Rosaline San Diego.
Carmen San Diego was a great game.
I never played that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that was like a computer game.
Yeah, it was great.
And it wasn't like schools, I think. My school was,
no,
my
it
school
wasn't
would
at
never
my
have-
school. It was in my cousin's house.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We had a computer like late in my family, and it was just like my father didn't really care about like technology, so we had Word Perfect, Word Star. That's like the software that we had. No, I remember that we could play like Hangman in my computer. I don't know. You know what we would play with? There was an ear test that you would press like your space bar to begin. So you would just hear like a beep, like a little beep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the beep, I guess the frequency got higher and higher and higher. And you would then press it again when you just didn't hear it. And it would tell you like, oh, you have I don't know, you have the inner ear of a 50-year-old, or oh, you have, I don't know.
So that was your game?
And that was the game. We would play that. We would like literally just sit there and you just hit it. And I remember I would say like, don't lie. Like, don't just like after you don't hear it, like wait for like 10 seconds more and then press it.
You reminded me of something that happened. We were doing the test, but in a video, like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
It was some years ago. I don't remember it, but it was like, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago or more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Kakaito is here. Maybe she remembers, but we were doing the test. I don't know why. I think we were in my grandparents, like my dad's parents' house, traveling.
Yeah.
And we were doing that test, but my mom's dad, so my granddad from my mother's side,
Yeah.
we did the test and we would know when it sounded because we hear it, but also the screen would like change of color, so you would know. And he was super funny because we did the test.
Oh, he could never.
He was like raising
anything.
his hand all the time.
What?
And we were like, no, it's not. And he was like, yeah, because he didn't want to get like the low score.
Right.
But it was super funny because he has bad hearing.
Oh, and with age, you just can't.
But it was
you
like a
just stop
super loud
hearing.
beep.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't raise his hand, and then he would be like raising his
He would
hand
see
all the
everyone
time.
raising it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
But
funny.
I remember that. Do you remember that time that they were playing that game? Like younger people were like playing the like they would put like beeps, this high frequency thing,
Yeah, it was that.
and
That's the.
they would say like, yeah, old people can't hear this. So
Mhm. But I love that there were people that were saying, as you were saying, they were saying yes, that like
mm,
they were trying to convince themselves that they were listening to something when you haven't even pressed play
yeah,
to
yeah.
the sound or something like that. So yeah, trying to look, cause I forgot again the name
Of
of
your
the.
grandfather?
No, of my. What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy that you forget his name.
Okay. I was remembering that it was Carmen San Diego for
Yeah,
us, the game that we played, and I don't know why I thought it was Norman, but it's not Norman.
Norman.
The like super trippy weird game that I told you that we were playing
Oh, I don't know.
when
Yeah,
we
I
were
had
young.
never seen that game. It's like really obscure. I mean, we found a playthrough of that game.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, it like YouTube has everything. But yeah, I had never heard of that game. But I wasn't very like I didn't have a computer. I mean, I guess I only got a computer to game on like when a couple of like years ago.
normality.
Yeah, that's
But
not
the player was Norman.
okay. Yeah, that game is weird.
It was a very weird trippy game. But I don't know if I've told this story to everyone or just to you. But it was quite funny because my dad bought the game for my sister and I. I don't know. I was like maybe 8 years old. No, maybe. And
Well,
she
you
was
could
like
look up.
12, maybe. Yeah, 'cause it says it was released in June 1996, but I don't think he bought it
Oh, I'm sure. No,
when it
and it
was
probably got
released.
here. Yeah, it
Exactly.
probably
So
got here
I'm
later.
just trying to remember what age we were. But it was like, I mean, I'm using the word trippy because it was like actually super trippy about like
Yeah.
psychedelics and stuff. But it had like a person and like a TV floating and a hand and a lot of things and like a trippy effect of colors. So maybe my
Very
dad thought
90s, yeah.
like, oh, it has colors and it's like a dancing person or
And my
something like
daughters are
that.
into mushrooms.
And he bought it for us.
Yeah.
And I remember we started playing and we were like, what is this? But then we were like super hooked to the game. I had no idea what I was doing.
Chirping.
I just remember that my sister was like, "No, you have to grab the little rubber ducky
It was like an
from."
adventure game.
Well, yeah. I mean, you had to go places, but for example, you were in his room at the beginning. I
Mm.
remember that, and you had to like move the pillow, and then like when you click the pillow, there would be a key.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then you could open the bathroom. And then in the bathroom, you had to break a glass so that you can get blah, 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 like this other thing.
Yeah, that's like classic like computer
Yeah.
adventure games.
Let's see.
But I never played anything like that.
No.
Like I said, my computer was eventually we had like a golf game, I feel, cuz my, but it was like just a pixel that, your club was a pixel and hitting the ball was a pixel. But no, we never really like played computer games
No,
for
and
sure.
Carmen San Diego was great. I remember I loved it. And it was cool because we played like all my cousins.
Yeah.
We were trying to do like a mission.
Yeah.
So it was great. I even remember the map. And you would
Oh,
be like traveling. You would go and choose the destination you had to travel.
yeah.
Like I even remember the sound.
What did it sound like?
No, I'm not gonna do
Oh,
it.
come on.
No, because maybe I'm wrong.
Who cares?
But no, because I
I
have.
sang, Danny, I sang to my friend Dai Susumi. I sang the outro to Jose Miel in what my brain remembers to be like Japanese.
You know what I do remember, and I could say when there was like a when you were looking for. I mean, I don't know what was happening, but it was like a map, and you would have like footsteps, like footprints,
Yeah.
and it would sound like. I do remember that.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I went like
And also you had a phone
That's less
and it had a
embarrassing than
sound.
my singing Japanese.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I remember. You should have seen the look on Dice's face because I was like, Dice, I remember this. And I was like, maybe I'm saying something. I just don't realize what I'm saying because I don't know Japanese. And he's like, and I was like, but I remember this song. I remember this part of the song. And he's like, oh, give it to me. Like, come on, sing it. And I was like, I started singing it. And he looked at me like I was from another planet. And he's like, dude, you didn't say anything, like nothing.
but he identified the song.
No, not at all. No, because I thought it was the intro song. And no. And then years later, I realized, oh, that's it's the outro song. Because Japanese, the anime usually has one song for the intro. And then when the show ends, the outro has another song. So, I mean, but that's not what it threw him off. Like my butchering of the Japanese song is what really, really made him uncomfortable. But to be honest, Danny, I heard it afterwards. Like years later, I was like, because I carry this with me. This is a weight I carry. Years later, I was like, I'm gonna listen to this because I don't think I was that off.
And you weren't.
No,
No, yeah, because
no.
it's like, I
I
mean,
gotta say, Dice was wrong on this one.
I don't
You
know if
know,
it.
the native Japanese speaker that has a beautiful studio right now in Japan and does wonderful things for Japan. I think he's wrong. I think
You
he's
know,
wrong.
I think that I don't know if it happened to you, but I think it happened to everyone that didn't learn English and they were listening to songs and they were singing as kids what they thought it said.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it's like that. And you remember the song and you can sing all the song, but it's not like the lyrics. It's like how your brain think it sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember me. My sister's Kata's English was never good, never really good. So she would listen to like I don't know, Chicago songs, like Air Supply songs. I mean, it's terrible, but let's not judge her. But she would ask me like, "Could you write down the lyrics for me?" So she had taped them from the radio. She had like this, this yellow boombox, and she had taped them from the radio. And she would ask me to like sit down and write all the lyrics for her. And I'm 4 years younger than her. Well, three and a half. And I would have a hard time trying to like make out what the song was saying. So I'm sure I would love if there was this notebook still in existence and you could see the lyrics that I
That you,
wrote for
yeah,
her,
yeah, yeah.
and that she would then, that's the way she
Sing
would
out loud.
sing
Yeah,
it.
terrible.
Oh my god! But I'm sure that I missed so much. Like I whiffed so much on those lyrics.
Yeah, I do remember that happened to me with Mambo Number 5 because we were dancing that at school when we were toddlers.
Mm-hmm. What would you say?
No, I don't know. I remember I said Alira Ver America.
Oh, there we
Like
go.
that. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh,
I remember that part, like Alira Ver America.
a little better America.
Alira Ver America. Yeah, I always said that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but I was a kid.
Perfect.
And it's like,
No.
what are you listening to?
Oh,
And I was
there's
like, Alira
adults
Ver
that-
America.
I'm sure.
I had no idea the name of the song.
I think
So
up until years later when you could search for lyrics. I mean, I never. That's the thing. Like in my house, we weren't like. I think my brother would buy some cassettes, but we never were big on buying like a ton of music. And the it was really cool because the fold out in the cassettes eventually would have all the tracks and all the lyrics
mm-hmm.
in I mean it was like 1 point type, but you would see all the lyrics, which was like, okay, finally I can know objectively what this song is trying to say.
Yeah.
But before that, it was just like anyone. It was like Wild West. It was anyone's guess what anything like that was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved it. We didn't have
Yeah,
a
I
lot
loved
of
that
that, and,
too.
and it was just recording off the radio and just do your best.
Yeah.
Do your best. But I'm trying to think of what song, like, if there's a song. I know that I've made so many mistakes. I'm like, is that what they said? I was like, I would sing them so differently in my brain, like so differently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people have it easy today with like Spotify. You just you know
Or
swipe
you
again
just
and you got
Google. You just
all the
Google
lyrics.
like the lyrics
Yeah,
of
but you don't even have to Google now. Like it's in just one app, and you
hmm.
just while the song is going on, you pretty much have like karaoke, so you know exactly what you're trying to what it's trying to say. But no, for me it was heavy lifting.
And I also remember that my sister is 4 years older, and she was like very good at English. She was like very good at everything,
Yeah.
but she was very good at English, and she was older. So I remember she was singing, and I was trying to catch what she was saying.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would sing something, and she was like, "No, it's not like that. It's like that." And then she would like correct
Mm.
for my invented word to the real word, but my brain couldn't like compute the change.
No.
So I would always be like annoyingly
You default
sing
back to the to what you
to
thought.
my own language. And also I am, and you know that I'm the sort of person that listens to a song twice and like knows all the lyrics.
Oh, now it's like you have a
No,
superpower.
but I was like that when I was a kid too. Like I was very good at
Oh, it was just
remembering
your
lyrics.
version of the lyrics, though.
Exactly.
Oh,
So I
perfect.
knew the full song, but I don't know in what language.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I mean, that's how aliens would sing it if
yeah,
they show up on Earth. So perfect.
yeah, maybe I hit uh, a word that means something in alien with my
You
invented
started
language.
the
A little
war
bit
of the
America.
worlds. Yeah.
Maybe a little
Alita,
bit.
Alita, America.
No, 'cause it's not a little bit. I said a little
Alita, like Alita
bita.
Angel.
A little bita.
Alita Beta.
A little bita.
Alita Beta
America.
America.
But
Yeah.
not America, but America.
Okay.
A little bit America. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cody was saying Nicolas has a killer anime voice. And Cody was saying, if it makes you feel better, Danny, I am 35 years old, English speaker for my whole life, and I combine lyrics like that to this day. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I think I think I'm very good at I don't know, I think I can like compartmentalize my brain in folders of every single lyric. And I'm good at that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
I got
language.
better.
Yeah.
But language.
But language, yeah. Sure.
No, no, because now I know the
Mm.
words. So it's not I'm singing a little bit America. Now. Not always. Let's see. Where was I? Robin Sita West 13
Robin
was
Sita.
saying hello all.
West 13.
Hey Robin Sita, how are you? What are you up to? Cody was saying, I think most Americans say Iran. And Samuel Coomer was saying, I'm American. We say Iran, homophonous with I ran.
Yeah.
And I ran to the store. At least that's how it is here. So yeah, because I've heard people say Iran,
Really?
not Iran.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Mm. No. Well, that would be weird for me.
Well, but they say Colombia too.
Yeah, but that's like I mean, I know it kind of hits a nerve with us, but in all honesty, like they do say Columbus and they
No,
know
and
how to
they
write
have
Columbus.
Columbia, and they have Columbia
University
too.
of Columbia.
Yeah.
They're aware of like, neighbors up front like
But you don't know, it doesn't hit a nerve to me.
No.
I know that there's a lot of people that are like,
Well,
it's Colombian.
I mean, no, but it's like, it's it shouldn't be like it shouldn't be something that is embarrassing either. It should be like, "Oh no, that's not how you spell my country. It's this way."
No, oh, well, I could do that, but it's not like it's hitting my nerve. I'm like, oh no, it's not Colombia, it's Colombia.
Yeah, but
And
if you
that-
have like a willingness to like tell people, yeah, it's not with a U. There's no U's.
Yeah.
Just an O.
Yeah, but I'm saying it because I know that there's a lot of people that are like super pissed when they hear Colombia.
Well, proud, let's say, but not. Well,
Yeah.
it strikes a nerve.
But I have to say, I mean, I am a person that always tries to be super respectful. But sometimes my Colombian accent changes the sound of some words,
Yeah.
and maybe I say it terrible. So I think it's cool when someone lets you know, hey, it's not like that, it's like that. And you can be like, oh, thank you. And then maybe you remember, and then maybe your brain just like pranks you and go back to your default bad pronunciation. So
Yeah.
so it's not like I hold a grudge
Yeah.
because of things like that. Emily Hales was saying, hey guys, how's it going? Hey Emily, we're good, good. How are you?
Danny, do you hey Emily, by the way, first.
What?
Do you remember a user that ends in 001? 001.
Wish list zero zero
No,
one.
no.
Wish list 001?
No, but somebody else. Or
Or R2112 is the one you're
no,
thinking
T
about?
it starts with a T, ta to
001?
maybe. Or 212.
Oh, Yutaki 001.
Yeah, Yutaki 001.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It's Yatuki 001.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I saw it on the comments yesterday or this morning.
No.
And I was like, it's Yatuki 001. But I've heard 1,000 times Danny say Yutaki with such confidence, by the way. It's like,
I know.
Yutaki 001. And I was laughing so much this morning when I saw
Why
it.
did I? What?
Yutaki, yeah.
I didn't read that correctly,
Yutaki.
and then I stick to it.
I know. I know.
Yatuki, I'm so sorry. Oh, no, now I'm feeling terrible.
No, don't worry. You just insulted like his entire family.
No, because also,
I'm sure.
you know
I
me.
mean, I'm not sure.
I even remember the name of. I said 3 different usernames.
Yeah.
I do remember all, and I am like super grateful to each one of the people that are here.
No, I
So I
actually
would never
remembered the
want
name,
to-
but I wanted to hear you say Yutaki
I
once again.
know.
Yeah. I was laughing so much this morning.
Jesus, my Colombian brain.
But we have to. This is not offensive, but there's so many people that put like anime characters as their username
Mm-hmm.
that maybe Yatuki is like an anime character. I mean, I'm not sure because I know very little about animes, but maybe. So I don't think it would be that bad. And I'm sure they laugh when they hear you
No,
say
they're so nice
Yutaki.
because they always answer back to the things I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
But could
I
you
said
imagine
thumb.
like
I said thumb Jordan.
Nokilas Uribe?
Yeah.
Nokilas. Hey, Nokilas.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So good to see you, Nokilas.
But I mean, it was super nice. For example, Thumb
Thumb is
Jordan.
yeah.
And they changed their username to Tom Thumb,
That's
which
great.
is amazing. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I
Well,
feel
because
like that's a cool way.
Yeah, they know
like,
that you're
no,
not doing it out of
Exactly, because
disrespect all
it
the
never
time.
comes out of disrespect. So,
Not all the
Jatuki, I'm
time.
so sorry. And I can't believe I realized that. Well, you made me realize that, like, after maybe a year or 6 months that they join our live streams.
I should have let it keep going and just write on a piece of paper and then hide it. And then when you realize it, I would say, like, Danny, go look at that little piece of paper. I've known since,
I know.
like, you know, maybe it's like 2027. Like, I've known since 2022 that it's not Yutaki. It's Yatuki.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know where I was. Iggy Rodriguez was saying, good day from the Philippines.
Hey, Iggy.
Hey, Iggy, how are you? Now I'm like reading 10 times every username. I don't know how to say this.
Oh, go. Let's do this.
It's DSY now.
DSY.
So Zai now.
Oh, I
was
don't
saying
know.
hello guys. Hey, how are you? Bipin Shrestha was saying hello
Now
guys.
you're getting bombarded by difficult names.
Was saying hello guys. Hey Bipin, how are you? Let's see. Ibrahim was saying
Yeah.
top 10 paintings you haven't seen, top 10 drawings, and top 10 watercolor artists.
Oh.
So 3.
No, Ibrahim.
Ibrahim,
we said one.
choose one.
You're like my kids.
You added more.
Like my kids when they were 3 walking into a toy store. we're getting one small thing, and 2 seconds later they're dragging like 3 bears.
Yeah.
No, no, Ibrahim, no.
Yeah.
One small toy. One.
Yeah.
Let's do the first one that he said. Top 10? I mean, I'll tell you the ones that come to my mind that I haven't seen, but so I haven't
Top
seen
10 paintings you haven't seen.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Menzel's Foot, which is one of my favorite paintings.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's calling me, but let me see what oh, okay.
Do you want me to text her?
No, no, no. It's Um. Oh God, I can't. No, I'm supposed to do something for her.
Right now?
No, no, maybe not. Maybe we can wait. Um, let's see. Let's go back to the
Top 10.
yeah. So,
Or top 30, because it's
no,
three
let's
top
not.
10s.
No.
Or
Uh,
top
Nope. 10 is fine. Or as much as I
100
can think of. As many as I can think of. So
of the
Menzel's
paintings you haven't seen?
Yeah, Menzel's Foot I've never seen,
Uh-huh.
and that's one of my favorite paintings ever. So I need to honor that, and I need to go to. I think it's in Munich.
Let's see.
I think so. I think it's Munich.
Mm. It says National Gallery, Berlin.
Oh, in Berlin? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great. I thought it was maybe in the Pinakothek. Um.
I love that these appeared. Look, I looked for Menzel Foot.
Okay. There we go. Let's see. So, need a trip to Germany to see to be able to see those. That one. Is there something in Germany, something else, so that it wouldn't be just for that foot? I mean, Germany, great. But in terms of if seeking art that I haven't seen, no. I would go to St. Petersburg to look at a bunch of Kramskoys and Repins for sure. Um,
But not one specific.
well, I mean,
That's why top 10s are complicated.
yeah, but there's so many of their paintings there that, it's just like a museum that I feel like the Tretiakov Gallery
Mm-hmm.
that holds like a bunch of 19th century work. I mean, I would say just that gallery. It's just for sure. I really, really, I know that nowadays it just sounds, it's tough to separate like a history of amazing people from what is going on with a government. I totally understand it. I really, really do. But for example, I'll never hide the admiration that I have for Russian artists, like late 19th century Russian artists. I think they are tremendous. So I know it's a weird thing. I know maybe it doesn't sit well with people, but I think people are above governments. So, and I think the history of people, and I would say like art revolves around history of people. I mean, it's hard to take it out of context, but it is the history of human beings, and it's like the nicest, like the nicer part of our history. Um, I think I have like the deepest of admiration for Russian painters. So I hope there is a world like in the future that is very, very welcoming, and you get to see beautiful people of Russia, and you can enjoy their literature, their music, their ballet, their painting. Like that's what it's about. So I would definitely say that. What else haven't I seen?
You've seen the Henrik bathing, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's in
That's in
London.
London.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
in London. That's in the National Gallery in London. Yeah, that's. Oh God, the first time I went to London, I was like, Oh my god, because I didn't really know that that was there. Um, and it's right next to. Well, it was when I saw it, so maybe I don't know if it's hanging differently right now, but it's right next to Samson. The painting, the Rubens painting of Samson,
Mm.
which is like it's amazing. It's really amazing. So I was like, oh my god, these the two paintings are some of my favorite paintings ever, and I didn't know they were here.
I haven't seen the raft of the Medusa.
Oh, Danny, that's
Yeah.
that's a painting. Yeah, that's like an experience. I feel.
Yeah. No, I think it's like a ¿cómo se dice? Como must have, pero no must have seen.
No, you can.
Like a must have?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can't miss it
Exactly.
if you have the opportunity. It's. I think that that's like that is worth the trip to the Louvre. Um, I, I mean, the experience that you get from peeking over a crowd's shoulders and heads to look at a Mona Lisa under glass. I think that's I don't know. I can't understand how that's special. That's not special. But Raft of the Medusa is like right there in front of you, and it's enormous.
Yeah, that's also
Enormous.
the thing. Like, I don't know if you remember, but I was super shocked with the Las Meninas.
Yeah, it's a big painting.
Because I knew,
This is bigger.
as I was saying, no, I know. This was like 7 meters by, I think it's 7 meters long
Yeah, this
by
is
5
yeah, it's crazy.
or 4 something. Yeah. But as I was telling you that time that I was seeing Las Meninas, I knew, like I've read how big it was, but I don't know why it's different to read than to see it.
Oh yeah, and you
like
could
it hits you.
right,
Like like you could say, oh yeah, 7 meters.
or you could look at pictures of people right next to it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's big.
Yeah, but then you're there,
Oh yeah, it's different.
and like the real measurements like hit you
Yeah,
right in the face.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. We have to. We have
we
to.
have to.
I have to go back to Paris. I haven't.
I would
gone...
love to go to Paris.
Ooh la la.
I would love to. Yeah. So no more?
Trying to think of things. I've been very lucky to see a lot of work that and a lot of work that means a lot to me. So life has been very kind to me, and it has given me opportunity to travel and at my own pace and to wherever I've wanted to go. That's one of the things that I always wanted to do when I would have a show and I would do well. I would always think, okay, I can travel. I can travel and I can do this. To me, it was so important. Traveling was just so important for me.
I'm paying attention,
Yeah,
but
but
my
not
brain's
really.
no, my
No, it's
brain's
okay.
also like bombarding me because I think I used to say Yatuki
No, never.
and then I said Yutaki.
No, I never heard you say Yatuki.
Ay, Jesus.
Like all the time. I know you're having a hard time like getting past this.
Because I don't
I don't
want
know.
that
Send him a
be.
painting.
I don't want that to be disrespectful.
Oh, it was 100%.
Ay, Nicolas.
I'm sure.
Of course
Insulted family, generations, traditions. You know. If you feel
not.
super bad, send him something
Guillaume
like some bocadillos.
Bocadillo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guillaume was saying Mental Food is in National Gallery, Berlin. Yeah. So it's in the bucket list too. Liad was saying you guys got my name right. Yeah, and do people usually do a bad pronunciation of it, Liad?
I'm sure it could be Lead or yeah, I'm sure people can struggle with that one.
I don't know. Gabriel Pozo was saying Danny is so self-aware right now. LOL. Yeah, a little bit.
Daniel Pazzo.
Well, I said Gabriel Garcia.
Yeah, and you just
Once.
said Daniel, and it's Gabriel.
Daniel?
Yeah, and it's Gabriel.
Jesus, no, I'm
Oh
logging
my
out.
God.
Logging,
You're a liability
logging
now.
out, se dice?
What's that?
Como me desconecto? I'm logging out.
Well, if you logged out, like you're gonna be gone.
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to
Yeah, your
say.
brain is like we lost it.
I'm sorry, Gabriel.
Daniel.
Gabriel
Pazzo,
Pozo was saying,
pezzo,
Danny.
puzzo.
I know, I'm sorry. Zai now was saying, haha, everyone struggles to pronounce my nickname. No worries, it's fun to hear. Or DSY now.
So
Mm,
how do you pronounce it? Try to sound it out for us if you can. You still thinking about it, Danny?
mm,
Yeah, a little bit.
not
A
about it,
lot of it.
about all the mistakes I've done
Oh my God,
since I knew it was Jatuki and not
Yutaki.
Jutaki. Ay, Jesus. So, how are you doing, Nicolas?
Nokilas.
Nokilas, yeah.
Um,
Nicolas Urine.
urine. Yeah.
Urine. That's the one. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't a very popular version in school, but I did hear it, so I have to say that it existed. I don't know why a teacher would ever read that and think it's urine,
Yeah.
but they did. So that's we're here.
Also, from B to N,
Yeah, they just feel it's close enough.
yeah.
It's like URI and it finishes in E, urine. What else can it be?
Yeah. Terrible. I've heard also, like bad pronunciations of my last name. I don't know why people always think it's Campos.
Okay, but that's the more popular one.
Yeah.
You can understand why.
Or Campo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or Cano. I remember that too, that I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you're like, yeah, take your time. Read all the
Just-
letters that are there.
Well, but now I can't
Take
say
your time.
that
I
because I
know.
didn't take my
I
time.
know. I know. Every time you get mad, think Yutaki.
Jesus. But you were saying,
I was saying that I think I'm okay. It's a little heavy-handed, but I think I like that it's heavier. So I think I'm going for that a little bit so that I can get this lighting feeling like, it's behind. So I'm not afraid of just making it deeper. In fact, there's like a tone, there's a difference in tone between this and the hand, which is actually quite beautiful. So in order to have that difference in tone, I guess I'm just almost like pushing it, um, just unconsciously pushing it, just because I like that difference, and I think I like it a lot. I like to, to showcase the difference, that little bit of difference, a lot. So
mm-hmm.
I've always said that painting is very much about attempting to communicate that which moves you, and the degree in which it moves you is going to dictate how you resolve certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the sort of person that feels if something is attractive to me, if a condition, a lighting condition, if there's some sort of contrast of different natures, it could be contrast by saturation or by value or by hue. If something hits you, you are you are the one that decides the degree in which it hits you, and by establishing that degree in which this stimuli hits you, you can then say, okay, I'm going to adjust my painting so it speaks about that,
Mm-hmm.
my response. My painting, like the painting becomes this testament of my response. So I think that that's very cool. And I really do think that that's something that shouldn't be sort of watered down.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if anything, it has to be amplified so you start to learn to be okay with responding
Mm-hmm.
to things. So I much rather you overstate things in painting that you want to say
Yeah.
instead of saying, "Oh no, I have to be subtle about this thing that I'm really excited about."
Yeah, and you also start to identify the things that
Right,
moves you,
right.
because sometimes you're lost, and
Mm,
sometimes it's super complicated to see,
mm.
to understand what's moving you. But if you do it like super consciously
Yeah,
every time, and you'll try to word out and paint out the things that call your attention, then it would be easier to identify
yeah.
when you're feeling lost. So, ooh, I was
What's
saying, I don't know if this is new, I don't think, but it says engage with your audience. You can start a Q&A or start a poll.
oh,
What should we do?
start a poll.
Uh-huh. It says a question of yes or no. Did
Mm.
did Danny set your
Uh,
username
have
correct?
I butchered your name? No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
I was typing it. Okay.
No, no, no. I think you do
Uh,
beautifully. No, no, no. Let me see. Yes or no
well, we
question.
could do many, so we could say, have I butchered
Oh
it?
no, let's not bombard people with like, you know, little
Yeah. Are you tired
yeah.
of polls?
Tired of us yet? Let
Have
me
you subscribed to our channel?
no. Let me see. I wrote to somebody.
A poll?
No, not a poll.
So what are you trying to?
No, I wanted to see if they had seen the message or written back. So there's this guy that's called oh god, now I forgot his last name. Let me see because I want to get it right. His name is Aaron, but and the website that he has is called Copyright Lately, and Aaron Moss. And he's super cool. He always like I follow that website. I mean, he has a I think he has Twitter and Instagram, and if you guys want to look for him, just search for Copyright Lately, and it's like all the copyright battles that go on. Like he tries to, he seeks like the news to see. He's a lawyer. He's a copyright lawyer, but he looks for news that have to do with copyright. In the entertainment world, in the art world. It's really, really cool. It's super, super interesting. Like all the cases that he talks about, and obviously he has like legal expertise, like in this um, precise matter. And it's very cool because there's not a lot of places on the internet that you can always get news stories about how what like how a trial is going or whatever, and if it's like something that they have decided, they like as the news sites have decided that it should be in the public eye, like they give it publicity, but usually those stories don't, like people don't really care about, like I don't know, like for example right now, because I'm remembering this because we were talking about Henry Darger yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and then yesterday I started looking at images of his, and just kind of reminiscing a little bit about it, and the documentary, you actually can find it. It was the one that Danny was saying
Yes.
yesterday. You can find it.
Yeah, if you go
Um,
Henry Darger and you put
yeah,
documentary,
yeah, that's the
like the
easiest way.
first one,
Yeah,
it's like an hour and a half, if I'm
yeah,
not
and it's a perfect
mistaken.
way. If you don't know who this artist is, if you have no idea how to contextualize him, his world, his life, just watch that documentary. I think it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I was thinking about him, and I got pissed off also, which I shouldn't be. But I always thought, ever since I saw Marcel Zama's work, um, I always thought, oh my god, like this is Henry Darger. Like this is just, it's not a ripoff, but it's like, why? Like you kind of feel like it's so there, it's so evident, it's so obvious. And I always hoped that there was an article, there was something that he would talk about Henry Darger, because Marcel Zama is one of leading contemporary artists. Like he is David Zwirner. He is in fairs all over the world. He sells for I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is one of the people that we consider to be like a great contemporary artist. And I always found it, because I've always been a defender of the horribly called outsider art, uh, or outsider artist work. I've always been enamored and fascinated by their stories. I've always thought that the way just the where we place them, where we, the art world, decide to place them, like to think of them in the fringes of the art world, or to think of them outside the art world. It is such an offensive way to look at these amazing artists. So last night I was looking at a bunch of work and I was saying, like, isn't this like so cynical that an artist like Henry Darger can have such an enormous influence on Marcel Zama, and he's never ever spoken about him. He's never even. I think somebody pointed out that he said that he had no idea who he was, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't buy it. And
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. I really, really don't. I think that it's the tone of the things that they do is so striking. Like,
Yeah, the similarities are so
so
big that
it's
it,
so
it can't
big.
be.
And this is not an era where you can just say, oh, an artist has like no clue. I'm sorry, I just have no clue about who this other artist is. It's like, no, dude, you're like Canadian and Henry Darger is American. It's not where I'm not asking you to, you know unearth this super obscure artist from oceans away. No, 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 it's like right there. It's like your neighbor. And there's a I'm sorry, but if you get to be a very commercially successful, established contemporary artist, you're probably well aware of a lot of art out there. We are novices. We are like amateurs compared to the how the art world views them, and we are super educated. I feel we know how to look for artists, and we know where to look for artists.
Yeah,
And
I'm sorry. Can I read this little quote that he said?
yeah,
It
please.
says, as he told in an interview in 2003,
Yeah.
quote, I only learned about Darger a couple years ago when I kept seeing his name in reference to my artwork, so I looked him up. I wouldn't consider him an influence.
But, I mean,
So,
yeah. Stop it. And you know what? That's like so blah. I don't know why. Maybe I'm super defensive because it's Darger and I adore his work and his story. But even if, let's say, this is true and it's just like uncanny, and there can always be two people with the same sensibility in this planet. This planet is enormous, and you can believe that there are two people that have like these parallel lives that never meet, and that basically are doing the exact same thing without knowing about the existence of the other. So I totally get it.
but
But
you
if
can
you get to
react.
know, but if you
Yeah.
if 20 years ago you know that artist, you look them up and you know them, I would feel, and your artwork is so close.
Yeah, I think you could react in a different
You could be
way.
like, "Oh my god,
This is
this is
amazing. Thank you
incredible."
so much. I had
Yeah.
no idea, but like I see that we have similar sensibilities
And I would
and I digged up that like their work
yeah, you
and
would want to get to know more about them, and
exactly.
like you'd be fascinated by this other human being that's completely it couldn't be more opposite. I mean, Henry Darger, a custodian, that had like a mental illness, um, you know, as poor as you could be, making art solely for himself, obsessively for his whole life.
Mm.
Um, his art was discovered by the people uh, that rented his apartment. So after he had to leave that apartment to like a home for elderly people, uh, for 40 years he was in the same apartment. And these people, we as humanity know about Henry Darger because of these people. Henry Darger, and this is the tragedy. I mean, it's a tragedy, and it's super sad that Marcel Zama just can't be fascinated by that. But that's it. I mean, that's fine. Like, that's an ego that accompanies like being like a leading contemporary artist, and fine. That's whatever. I always think it's just horribly unfair, and it's just too funny that somebody who is outside the art world can, I think, and I'll still believe it, and I'll believe it until I die, can influence so much how somebody that is considered to be one of the leading contemporary artists is seen, is perceived. Like hey, that dude that we as an art world are deeming an outsider shaped you. Like, you are famous, because of the so many things that are present in this person's life and their artwork and, their writing that, that we don't consider like, oh yeah, that's outside. That's outside. Yeah, those are crazy people making art. Like, that's something else. That's totally different. They need different museums. They need different shows. They need to be commercialized differently. Like, that's always like, apart. But what's been going on, which just completely breaks my heart with Henry Darger, obviously, as with James Castle, when they realized that they're wonderful artists, that they're exceptional artists, and not exceptional artists for people on the spectrum, for people with mental illness. No, no, no. They are exceptional artists. Period. Period. So this is not a thing like, oh, they were able to overcome their handicap and they were great artists. It's like, no, fuck no. Like, what are you talking about? They're great artists, period. Period. And one of the saddest things about Henry Darger's story is that he died alone. Like, nobody cared for him. Nobody knew about him. Like, nobody cared enough for him. And when he died and when he left for the elderly home, that's when, I forget their name. They're a couple. Oh God, tenors, maybe something like that. I forget. Who, like, just Henry Darger apartment, rent.
New new tenants.
No, 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 no. It's I forget. Oh God, come on. I forget their last name. I'm so sorry about this, but they were the ones who, like, they could have just picked everything up, like not even looked at anything, and said, "Oh my God, this is a mess." Learners. Thank
They
you.
were the landlords.
Yeah, the landlords. So the
Nathan
learners,
and I'm sorry, Kiyoko Learner.
yeah, the learners could have said, "You know what? This is trash. This is a person that lived here for 40 years. Oh, God, let's just throw all of this to the dumpster. Like, let's not even sift through things. Like, come on. It was a janitor's apartment. Like, who cares?" But they actually looked through everything. They say, I remember this part of the story. They say that Darger told him personally that he could throw everything away. Like, that, he was like, "It's yours to take. You could throw everything away." And he had no family. Nobody. He was like alone in this world. And he didn't throw anything away. And he actually started uncovering and compiling all the works that Henry Darger did, and eventually started making shows. And he did, like, the couple did sell and has sold works. Like, there is a Sotheby's auction for one of his, like, larger images that sold for like close to 700 grand. So you can probably imagine what happened. A lawyer got a hold of that story and said, "Wait a second, there's money here. There's like potentially millions of dollars here." So he started like scavenging for whomever could be like a distant relative of Henry Darger, like distant cousins, because he didn't have immediate family. He never married. He never had kids. Nothing. He was just alone in this world. You could argue that the closest people that he had were his landlords. Like, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And you know what's the saddest thing, Danny? That they just gave them, like, there is still a trial going on, but if it ends how it seems that it's going to end, like, there's all like a bunch of distant cousins that are
converting distant relatives.
Yeah, that are
that
now
are fighting.
Right, and they have like they're now led by this one. I think it's one woman that they named as the head of these like estate. Let's say the Darger estate, that couldn't care about his life, couldn't care about his well-being, couldn't care about anything. They were not part of his story. Nothing. They were absent. He didn't exist for them, which is like the cruelest thing in the world, that you could now say, and the law can say, that because they are distant family members, they now have the rights to Henry Darger's estate, and not the people, not the landlords that were the ones that said, "Hey, instead of throwing everything out, like, let's look at what he's got here." And when they realize, because maybe you could have looked and you could have said like, oh my God, he wrote like a madman and he drew like a madman. Let's throw all
Mm.
this away. This is like scary. Because he was a janitor, he was a custodian. You never think like, oh, there may be something here.
Mm.
You know, people are usually like, oh, what does a custodian know about art? Like, what does a janitor know about art?
Yeah, and also you could think that they would want to get rid of everything as fast
Everything.
as they can.
Other
they
people
can
would be
have,
like,
like, the
oh my God,
empty
we need to rent
apartment.
this apartment again. That's what we're
Yeah,
getting the
exactly.
money. Who cares about these dumb, stupid drawings? Like, so they are the only reason we know about his work. Those two people are the only reason we know about
Mhm.
Henry Darger's work, which is amazing. But the law, and you'll see, Danny, the law is going to grant these people that could care less about Henry Darger and just see money, because there's a lot of money, and they are going to make them. I'm sure of this. They're going to make the Lerner couple pay back everything that they sold. They're going to have to give that money, whatever, millions of dollars that they've made from sales. They're going to have to pay them that money, aside from, giving them everything back.
Yeah, because it says if the learners are found to be violating of the law.
Yeah.
I'm reading, I'm sorry, in Art Forum.
Yeah.
And it says they may be ordered to repay the money they gained by selling Darger's work through the pending case brought by other distant relatives complicates the matter.
Motherfuckers. I'm sorry, but that's like, ugh, disgusting. Disgusting. If you don't want to be part of anyone's life when they're alive, you don't have the right. You don't have the right.
Yeah. And to want to profit.
Oh, that's the only reason.
It's like, oh, no, I didn't care. It's not like they care about like the things of sentimental value that he could have there. Because they're not asking for the other things he had while he was alive.
No.
They were like, oh my God, they did like an auction for this in...
Danny, it's not even them. A lawyer saw this first. I'm not saying anything about lawyers. I'm just saying that specific lawyer, that specific person who knows the law. They're acting, again, you're acting by the law. So, but this lawyer saw that it's like, hey, you don't have a right to that. But if if the drawings were sold for $1,000, nobody would care. Nobody would like nothing. There would be nobody saying like, oh, let's move mountains to find like Henry Darger's family. But this lawyer started, he probably saw the potential of this being like an estate worth millions and millions of dollars. And he was like, okay, that money is not theirs. I can find the people whose money this belongs to, and I can get my part. I can get my cut. And it's horrendous. The people that had no idea who Henry Darger was. Ugh. It disgusts me. It's one of those things that I'm like, I know that the law is there, and I can understand how you have to protect the rights of people who really do have the right to, inherit stuff. They were part of somebody's life, or they were, I don't know. You just, I don't know. I don't know how you could establish, how the law could establish if you deserve to inherit something. And I know that that's like almost impossible.
Yeah, and the bad thing is that it's just because they are blood related, the law protects them.
Right, but this is not like an estranged daughter. This is not like his ex-wife. This is nothing. He was alone his whole life. And these are not like, oh, that was my sister, but I fought with her. And then it's like, oh, yeah, you wouldn't be able to say anything if maybe it's a close family member, and they could tell you about why they separated at some point and why it was difficult. And it would have been nice if like his family would have taken care of him at some point, but no, he was janitor, forgotten janitor, like one of these invisible, millions of invisible human beings that live in the world. And now suddenly it's like, oh no, that's my great distant uncle. It's like, I deserve millions. It's like, fuck you, really, honestly, like, go to hell. I hope there's a hell. Like, I don't believe in anything, but I hope there's a hell and you go to it, because that's not right. It really isn't right. I don't know. Those things get me worked up, but I hate it, because it's like, the art world doesn't give him like Marcel Zama. It's like, oh no, yeah, I knew about him, but like people showed me his work, but I don't know about him.
But
I
also
don't.
he's saying he's not a reference to
Yeah,
me,
it's like, oh,
which
I don't
sounds
know.
like
I would
no.
have been excited as fuck. Like I would have been like, oh my god, let me devour this story,
Yeah, me too.
and let me understand why my work, and maybe it's the
My
case.
sensibility is
Why is
similar
it
to someone I had no
to
idea
one that
about.
doesn't belong? Like I'm saying
Exactly.
this in like big quotes, to someone that doesn't belong to the art world, who has like a mental, illness or condition that we only got to know about what he was doing after he died, like 5 years after he died, maybe. It's crazy. It's such a crazy story that you go like, I would be obsessed with that. Like
Mm.
if I found something like that out, I would be obsessed as
Yeah,
an
like
artist.
buying every book
That's how
I
we
can
are. Like
find,
art, I
reading
feel
every
like artists are
article.
like that. We're
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? This is fascinating. This is a fascinating story. I would love it. I would try to have shows. I would try to talk to the estate and be like, I want a show together. I really want to show my work right next to his because I think it's incredible. I would be doing all those things. But no, no, he's shunned. He's not even considered as a topic of conversation. And then when you think, okay, maybe there's fairness to the people that have made an effort in trying to, socialize his work, to save his work. They literally saved his work, saved it. And no, they don't have a right either. So it's almost like Henry Darger, you could find some solace in thinking, he wasn't anyone's. And he died, and he now is everyone's. He belongs to everyone to see. And the most beautiful thing that can happen in those cases is that you open up a museum, or you make like, I think they recreated his apartment in a museum somewhere in, I forget where. But
Mhm.
um, so you do those sort of things, and you give everything to that museum so that everyone can have like that experience. Maybe you need to sell a couple of drawings, so maybe to finance that museum initially, to cover the costs, you sell 4 drawings, and now you have $4 million, and now you can build a museum. Yes, that I get. I get it. 100% I get it. But this is not like, there's so many things that are wrong about like how we treat his life, and to realize that there's nothing that we can do, like nothing. Like I'm sure the law is going to side on the families, like, side argument. I'm sure of it, because that's the law. It's like, that's the law. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Liet was saying it's unfortunate that law and ethics don't
Ah,
line up a lot of time.
jeez, this breaks me, and I'm so sorry. I get super animated with this, but like cases like this, they break me. It just, ah, it's like we have the chance to do like we we didn't care about a man's life while he was alive, and we have the chance to make it right. We have the chance to say, you know what, we fucked up because we thought you were invisible, and we never cared about you. We never took care of you. We as humanity. But at the least we can do is show people from now on how fascinating you were as a human being. And we can't even do that, right? Like, fuck me. Now the family's gonna have the family. I'm losing that. I'm using that term very loosely. But these people that are suddenly gonna own millions of dollars, they're just gonna spread the work everywhere. Like they don't care where money's gonna come from. It's like, we're just gonna sell lots of these things, like,
Mm.
a lot containing 200 drawings, 300 drawings.
No, and
Like
also
they
because
don't
it says
care.
the intellectual property.
Right. So every
So,
book, every single thing has to pay them now. Everything has to pay back to them. They're going to be the owners, and I'm guessing this is retroactive. They're going to be the owners of everything. It's so fucked up. It's so messed up. So ugly. It's like, come on. We have a chance to do things right, and we're not. It's not. It's going to be honestly, it's going to be a tragedy. I get so bummed when I read about this stuff, cuz the case has been going on this year.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think
why I'm like super.
6 months ago.
Yeah. And but there was something that happened a little bit closer
Earlier?
to closer, like a couple of months ago
Mm-hmm.
maybe. I don't know. I'm disgusted. It's blah. It's one of those things that I'm like, oh my god, come on, come on. So I don't know.
Emily Painting Elk was saying, I'm so happy you're speaking about Darger. I was so lucky to see some of his work in person many years ago. Wow, was saying Emily.
Yeah, his work started, but it's only because of the learners. They were the ones who started showing it. Started making shows.
Well, they were the one who saw it for the first time outside of Darger and decided that it was like something that people should see.
Exactly. And you could say anything. You could say like, oh, because you could argue, of course they did. They thought they were going to get rich. But listen to me. This was a janitor. He was, he was a custodian for his whole life that nobody cared about. Nobody. And I'm sorry, but people don't go like, oh, you know what? These scribbles that this custodian did over the last 40 years, maybe they're worth something. I'm sorry. They
Yeah.
don't say, people don't say
And
those
also,
things.
it's not as easy to to like find someone's work and make it as famous as Darger is.
No,
Just
it's,
because I mean, it's not like, oh, they were just trying to profit, so they knew that they were gonna get rich
no,
or
it's
they
like,
were gonna like sell these for a lot of money. They had no idea.
no,
They
no,
just thought it was worth showing,
no, even
and that's
until,
how it started.
I mean, again, this, the art world suddenly, seeing the financial um, opportunities that can come up from outsider art and embracing it finally. This is a very new thing, but it's only because they saw money there.
Mm.
The art world was like, the art market was like, before they could care less, like who cares. They would be like, yeah, that's art that mental patients do, that's art that like autistic people do. It's like, yeah, no, that's a thing in art. It's, it's interesting, like it's interesting that Dubuffet did this, but they never saw it for what it was until they were like, hey, wait a minute. There's like people saying that they want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for each of these like James Castle sculptures. Let's get in on this. It's like, fuck you, fuck you. It's like, ugh.
Tom Thumb Jordan was saying, had never heard of Darger before your Instagram post yesterday, but suspect he may be an influence on one of my favorite contemporary artists, Ella Walker, who you guys both follow on Instagram. Oh
Um,
yeah, I know her work.
yeah. There's a lot of like, what's really cool about, I would say, like a newer generation of artists
Yeah.
is that I think we are very aware of, you know, art that comes from anywhere. For
Mm-hmm.
example, Esther Pearl Watson also,
Mm-hmm.
she's amazing. She's incredible.
Yeah.
And she does stuff that, nobody would have paid attention decades ago. Like they would have just said, okay, this is like childlike. This is not, again, art brute. This is just, very innocent. This is dumb. This is too little. Um, Truth is, the art world has opened up. Newer generations have opened up. People today, they don't really care where art comes from. Like we just
Mm.
have stimulus, and people can say, dude, that is amazing. And it doesn't matter if it was an old comic book or if it was just like a romance cover or if it was like a comic book artist, like really obscure. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But, for the longest time, the art world, like the bigger, art world, capital A, bigger art world, was always like a validating institution. Like they could decide what was important, if it came from where, they would deem it as relevant or irrelevant. So yeah, it's pretty ugly. But yeah, I mean, artists that I love, let me think of somebody. I mean, Barry McLosh. I mean, probably mispronouncing his name.
No, I think you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
No, I
He's amazing. Well, he's a terrific artist too. Barry. Let me
I
get
think it's
McLaughlin. McLaughlin. I'm sure he's probably Scottish or, but Barry McLaughlin is amazing. Who else? Caitlin Eichwald.
Yeah,
She's incredible.
incredible.
Fucking incredible.
Yeah,
She's an
but
incredible painter.
but as we were saying, I think the problem is to have something super similar and say that you don't know about them.
Yeah,
And if
fuck
you
you.
really don't know about them, as you were saying,
You're an artist. Like,
just react. I mean,
yeah,
I don't
read
know
about
how
it.
I
Look
would.
for it. Come on, dude.
I don't know how I would react if I saw someone with a very very similar sensibility to mine, because I do think that you can see things that are similar to you in some ways, but this is just like, if it really is something that he had no idea about, like if he had no idea about Darger, it's like something uncanny.
Yeah.
So it's like so mind blowing that you would be super into knowing how in the world you had no idea about this artist that has this sensibility that's so close to yours. So,
And again, who is considered pretty much crazy. So it's like, wait a second. I'm supposed to be one of the leading contemporary artists of the world. And I share something with somebody who the world didn't pay attention to and who was completely forgotten and whose art was just, like nobody was even interested in what he was doing. There wasn't even an audience to what he was doing. Like, how do we share something? Like, it would be fascinating to
yeah.
me. Like, as a
Yeah,
human
for
being.
me, yeah.
I mean, you could do a podcast of this. Like, could you imagine like one of those
I would not
like
sleep.
serial podcast types?
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna try. I would be like, I have to get to know more about this
Of my-
story, and I'm
yeah,
gonna
like-
record this story.
I have an art doppelganger.
Who is in the complete opposite end of the spectrum
Yeah.
of you? Like, how does the world create those two people? Like, why? I would be like, fuck this. I'm gonna do this for this year. Like, I'm gonna take the rest of the year off because you're rich. You could do that, and just see why.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's what artists do, right? We seek stories and we're fascinated by things that other people would be like, yeah, that's dumb. Ugh.
Emily Painting Elk was saying, it is amazing that the landlords happen to be the type of folks who could appreciate what they found. It makes you think about all the art that has been thrown out
Right.
through history.
Imagine,
Exactly.
Imagine that. All
Maybe-
the art
maybe
that has
that-
been deemed
That-
garbage.
exactly. And maybe that blood related quote unquote family of his, if they were the ones who had to empty the apartment, they would have thrown everything away.
Oh, they would have been like, oh my God, look at this.
Or they would pay someone else to do it.
They would be pissed off because they had to pay somebody else to like clean that up. They would have been like pissed off. Ugh. I don't know. I hope the law gets this right. I really do. I really, really do. But I have a feeling that there's no way. We're gonna get this right. Ugh. It breaks my heart. It breaks me. It's like sometimes I'm like, we don't fucking deserve nice things. Like, we don't fucking deserve it. We just don't.
Let's see. Esteban La Rota manda unas
Esteban.
cabezas como mind blown.
Sí.
y unos
Uy, a Esteban le
aplausos.
gustaría. A Esteban le encantaría la historia de ese man.
¿Cómo está Esteban? Hace rato no veíamos a Esteban por acá.
No, yo no lo he visto desde las latas Goya con las pinturas negras de Goya. Muy bien, Esteban, muy chévere eso.
A ver, ¿dónde está? Leslie Cavazos Garduño was saying,
Gabazos Carduño.
hi Danny and Nico, so happy to see the live early and be able to paint at the same time. Hey Leslie.
I appreciate, Danny, that you always give me time to stretch the Gabazos Carduño.
Always.
Yeah, always appreciate it.
I always give you all the time you need.
Thank you.
David Rodríguez dice, holas. Hola David,
David.
¿qué tal?
David.
Rosaline Dion was saying, had to step away, but I'm back. The painting is looking so good.
Thank you, Rosalind.
Uh, Carla Anglada was saying, hello, Danny, Nicolas, and chat. Gosh, this is a painting I want to keep looking at. Maybe it's Danny's gaze.
Oh, it depends entirely on it. Yeah.
No.
What?
No. Well,
I
it's
think
the way
so.
you paint the
I
gaze.
mean,
It's like super.
yeah, but the gaze wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the human being behind it. So.
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't be as engaging if it wasn't because of the painting. So.
Well, yeah, but.
Well, yeah.
Can have this argument forever.
Marcelo Peralta was saying, hi, Danny and Nico. Hi, chat.
Bom
Hey,
dia.
Marcelo.
Bom dia, Marcelo.
Sofía Centurión dice, buenas chicos, ¿cómo
La
están?
Sofi.
Hola, Sofi, muy bien.
La
todo muy
niña
bien.
Sofi. La Chofi. La alcachofi.
A ver, Herax was saying, do you think taking online critique classes is very similar to art getting critiqued in an actual school? And Liad was saying, next year they're going to have an online 10-week class, Herax. Thank you, Liad.
Thank you for the plug, Liad. Can always count on you with that. Public relations, thank you. Do I think it's the same? If done well, yes, it can be the same. Danny can attest to this also, but because we belong to the same institution, the same faculty.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when the exchange is engaging, when you have like, let's say I would every 2 weeks I would have exercises that people in my painting class would have to finish around every 2 weeks. So at the end of that class, you know, after those 2 weeks, you know, pretty much an hour and a half before the end of the class, we would stop and we would put everything on like easels, and we as a group would start discussing like we started reminding ourselves of what was the objective, and then I would, you know, begin to talk about the individual pieces, but always with the hopes of like people talking also, you know, people being part of a conversation. Which I do think that when it worked, it wasn't always, but when people were engaged, I think that's where you feel that like an art education is taking place. Like when there's debate and when you maybe speak of something as a teacher and people can raise their hand and say, I actually think, like, I see it differently. Like, I like it for different reasons, or, you know, and you can start to get into a conversation. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Like,
yeah,
that is like pure art right there. It's just gorgeous discourse.
And when you as a student can also get a feedback from someone else that's not the teacher,
Right.
that could be something that just like hits the spot.
Right. And as students, I was a student at some point, so this speaks about all of us. Sometimes we don't know how to express what we want to say, and sometimes we're either mean or we just don't know how to convey our opinion. We don't know how to flesh it out, how to word it properly. But that's fine because we are in a space where we're learning how to do that. So I actually always appreciated when people tried to talk about their work, somebody else's work, and maybe you trip quite a few times and you say things that could be misinterpreted or considered mean. And there were people, like I've seen students in my life that were like, okay, dude, you're being super critical here. Like, you're not that good. Like, don't be that person. Don't be the person that sucks but is hypercritical, because that's never a good thing. Sure, there's those cases, but usually when it's like well intended in the sense that you're trying as a collective to like, you know, to be okay with how something is about to be judged, because, you know, we have to judge it because I have to grade it.
Yeah.
I have to say this piece is great because it's doing these things, and these pieces are coming up short because of these, you know, because of these reasons. I have to do that. It's my job. It's a tough job, but you have to do it. But it's always good if you at least construct something, like some sort of scaffolding before you put those grades down, that when you give out the grades, people can be like, okay, yeah, I get it. maybe maybe sometimes you go like, really? Okay, I don't agree with it, but I understand why you're giving that grade. That's the best thing you can do. And that only happens when you have people like truly engaged. Um, if it's virtual, well, I would always say that watching somebody work and then being able to see a physical piece of work is important. But, a lot of people, a lot of illustrators nowadays work, in Procreate, Photoshop. So there is work that doesn't necessarily have to live in like, the physical realm. Um, so that's totally fine. But, in terms of traditional painting, of course, I would always say, yes, I would love to see the painting, to touch the painting, feel the painting, walk around the painting, feel how the painting's dimensions compared to my own. That's super important. How big something is, how small something is. It's super, super important. Um, yeah, but I do believe that if done properly, if done well, and I think it depends on the person that does it, yeah, an online, critique can be as valuable as anything else. It really is.
Yeah, and also I was gonna say that something that I feel it's fascinating about having the possibility to have someone online critique your work is the fact that sometimes the artist you have access to in real life,
Yeah,
or the person that could be the one that's giving you the feedback or the critique of your work, is not that like in tune with your sensibility.
yeah.
And maybe yes, he would be able to, or
They,
she would be able
yeah,
to, they would be able to see it in real person and critique it, but maybe those critique are not hitting the spot you're looking for. So I feel it's amazing that thanks to the internet, as we were saying yesterday, it has great things, and it has a very cool thing, and it's that you can access people that maybe you couldn't because of your location.
that's 100% right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is, and the fact that you're seeking somebody who's in tune with your work or who you believe is in tune with your work doesn't mean they're going to be super kind suddenly and be like, oh yeah, there's nothing but nice words to say about my work. That's what I needed to hear. That's what I needed. I need a validation from somebody I respect. It's like, no, sometimes those people that are working in the same wavelength that you do, because they understand what you're trying to do, they can be super critical in the sense that they can be like, hey, I know what you're feeling. Like, I know what you're going through. I go through those things. So we can actually talk about, the obstacles that are inherent to this path. And I can be tough on you because I get it, because
Mm.
I've walked down that path. So it is
Yeah.
super interesting. It's really, really interesting.
And also, I would say that, like, an artist that has a similar sensibility to yours doesn't have to be an artist that has a similar line of work to yours. Because I do think that some of the teachers I appreciated the most,
Yeah.
their work had nothing to do with mine. Or they could be similar, but not like, oh, I'm looking for this person, and I'm looking to have a feedback and a conversation about my work with this person because we do things in a very similar way. No, but I do think that their sensibility could be similar to mine, and the way they communicate what they want to say hits the spot that I need in order to make my process like grow and grow and get better and get better. So I do think that's also very important to not only be open to someone that works in your exact line of work, but someone that has your sensibility, which I think means two different things. Can mean two different things.
I've spoken about this. I think the teacher that spoke to me best and that I connected with most, and I wrote about him, when I knew that he had passed, which was a very sad day for me, because I had kept somewhat in contact with him and we had exchanged some emails, but he was very, he was the sort of person that was like, internet, what the hell is that? Like, social media, like, what is that thing? So, but my drawing teacher, Sam Martin, I
Mm-hmm.
adored. I thought he was like the kindest, nicest teacher that I ever had. And he taught me through kindness, and he taught me through showing me. And he wasn't the best, artist that we had at SVA, not even close. But to me, he was my best teacher. Like,
Exactly.
and he was the teacher that I needed. Like, he knew how to talk to me.
Yes.
And that is, you can never, ever play down the importance of, you know, having somebody that you can be like, I'm going to listen while they're talking, because I know that they're talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that their intentions are good when they talk to me. They want the best for me. And when they're pushing me, I know that I need to be pushed. When they are, reprimanding me because I've been lazy, it's because I know that I was lazy.
Mm-hmm.
When they are commending my work, when they're saying like, good job on this, like, yes, hell yes, like you kicked ass, you can be like super proud because you know that it comes from a good place.
Yeah.
I think we need those people. I really do. And for all of us, it's different. Like I said, for me, it wasn't like, I love Max. That's probably the teacher that I had the most personal connection with. And I absolutely adore Steve. So Max Ginsberg and Steve Assel were my teachers, and they'll forever be my teachers. But the teacher that I loved, the most, that I thought he was just, I just needed him, was Sam Martin, for sure. Like there's no question about it. No question. And I think we all have those teachers. And I don't know if we all have those teachers, but I think we deserve those teachers.
Liet was saying, Nicolas, how do you feel about teachers that teach with tough love?
Oh, that was Jack Potter in SVA. I don't know if there's anyone from SVA here. That was Jack Potter. I could only sit in Jack Potter's class, and I only did like a few times because he was brutal. Like, he was an old school illustrator. He was very famous, like in the 60s. So he grew up. He grew up like, he's a Mad Men illustrator. So if you had watched that series, he is that guy. He is that dude. He thought women couldn't draw. He enjoyed, I would say, making people cry, men and women. He would make them cry equally in class. Completely destroy your drawing. Completely destroy your drawing. He was good enough to destroy it technically. He was fantastic, a fantastic draftsman. But he was mean. But I have a friend, I have my, very dear good friend, Dan, that, Dan loved Jack Potter. He really, respected him and idolized him, and he loved John Ruggieri, who I think John had Jack as a teacher. So, I mean, Dan obviously connected more with John, but yeah, but Jack Potter was like an institution. He was like, a legend. But I always thought, it's like, I have my limits. Like, this is not cool. Like, if you're just crushing me, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I have the energy to then want to draw. Because I think as much as people can push you, there is like an art to pushing people.
Yeah.
And
100%.
you don't destroy them, because sometimes if you push too hard, people they just don't want to wake up. They're going to be like, you've just told me all this time that I'm a fucking loser. Like, that I don't have the talent. I don't have the ability, that I'll never amount to anything, that I'm making the same mistakes over and over again. Like, you haven't tired in telling me and repeating to me that I am not good enough. Like, and now you're expecting me to push? It's like, yeah, because only the strong people can push. Like, oh, come on, forget it, dude. Like, you were responsible for destroying me. Like, don't make it now that it's like now that I've hit the bottom, I have to push up.
Yeah,
Like,
because
no.
I also think that there's a very big difference between tough love and being mean.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think that people sometimes, like, they say it's tough love, but they're just being mean, and they just like to make people suffer. Because I've seen teachers that love to make students cry and feel horrible, and they feel like they're pushing them, but it's never enough for them to compliment them or to let them know that they did something right. So yeah, I just think it's very different, tough love. Because in my case, for example, I had a teacher whom I loved, and I think that there were a lot of people that were not that open to his feedback, because he was very, like, he had no trouble in letting you know what you did wrong, and he would say it and he would laugh about it, but he
Yeah.
would laugh about it with you. It's Alfonso.
Yeah,
And I loved him so much.
he was beautifully mean, but underneath
But
that,
it was love, and I
yeah.
think that that was love, and you could see it. And I remember that once he was my etching teacher, and he just ripped the paper, and he was like, "No, come on. I mean, I know you. Please don't do this." And I mean, I never felt bad because of the way he like approached me after that happened. Like I was even laughing because I knew that I did a terrible job. And he was like, "This is absolutely horrible." And then he said like, "If you I could change your grade if you do enough for me to put as a papel tapiz, how do I say that?
Wallpaper.
Wallpaper in my bathroom." So I did that, and I did like 20 copies of that, and I gave them to him, and he was laughing so bad. Like we were both laughing about it because I knew it was a horrible job I did. And then I did a new one. And he was the first one to let you know that you did something amazing when you did it. So I think that's different. And I think that that's the way he approached me and my work because of the sort of like friendship relationship we had. But like, he was never troubled by telling a student that he was wrong or they were wrong. And people sometimes have a hard time with commentary like that. But I do think that that was tough love. That was just love.
Yeah, yeah. I
He was
think you
just
can
funny, and I loved the way he was funny because I love when people can be like funny without being afraid of like pushing. Because I also pushed him like with my jokes, and he pushed me, and it was amazing. I mean, I always thought of him as a friend, and because of that, I could like really interiorize the things that he was telling me as a feedback. So yes, I do think it's very different to be like to be mean and to have like tough love.
Yeah, I would say Potter was mean. Was just very, very mean.
Yeah. Cuz I've had those teachers too. And it's not cool.
Yeah, there's people, there's art teachers that enjoy it. I don't know where they, you know, I don't know what that says about them, or why they're trying. Maybe somebody wasn't just nice to them.
Yeah. And I also
But
remember when I'm sorry, when he ripped the paper, he was like, "Do you want to rip it too?" And I did it too. I mean, cuz he did like a little rip, and then I ripped it with him. Cuz he was like, "I know that I know you enough to know that this is not your work." And he was right. Like, he was absolutely right. Like, I was feeling ashamed when I had to show that work because I knew that I didn't have enough time and I didn't do a great job. So I think that sort of thing could be read as something mean, but it wasn't. Like, I never felt it that way
yeah.
because I knew it was always like love, and he was amazing. So, Prince Barebones was saying, "Yes, I think there needs to be a level of respect when a teacher teaches by tough love. That should go both ways. I had a teacher who expected the best from you, but he was never cruel." Carla Anglada was saying, "My ballet teacher, as a little girl, would hit our feet with a stick if we didn't have the proper posture. Definitely made me cry, but I learned to have the correct posture." Yeah, but I think that's mean. I don't know.
Well, yeah, ballet has horror stories. Yeah.
Yeah, we say it here like enseñar a los trancazos
Yeah, no, that's
when it's like
oof.
they hit you or they're like super.
I had nuns as teachers in the school I went to,
No.
and oh, they're probably in hell right now. They are.
No, and back in school, I also had some teachers that were very mean. I could think of one, and I would like joke with him, but he was mean to me
Yeah, no.
because he always said that I wasn't able to like comprehend
That's just not
uh,
a good teacher.
that like class. And he was like, "You could do whatever you want, but you can't get it. Like, your brain can't get it."
Yeah, that's just a horrible
My
teacher.
mom, I remember my mom was so mad with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, I'm good. Like, I know I'm struggling with it, but I'm good because I'm not letting him just like get into my head.
It's a terrible teacher, though.
Yeah, it was. Uh, but yeah, but Alfonso was amazing. Um, let's see. Mm, Carla was saying it was mean and I hated going.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, that's terrible. Um, Salmon was saying, Carla, all my teachers used to hit me when I was unable to answer a question. No, that's terrible. And Salmon was saying, but that forced me to study.
I don't know if like
Mm,
the nuns that were in our school were the same. I don't think it made me hate them.
yeah,
Like
cause
that didn't that there was nothing good that came out of them, to be honest.
yeah, cause I think it's different to learn to do something that to be like to have a scar from something that happened and then be afraid of not doing something. I think it's very different, and your brain processes that in a very different way. So yeah, I don't like that.
I still remember I was 7 in the grade that we call transition here. It's not first grade, it's before first grade.
Mm-hmm.
Um and my school had a bunch of like American teachers. They were American nuns and like priests that came from like North Dakota, like Benedictine priests and nuns. Um, and this we had this older teacher. She was very old. That was called Mrs. Crawley. When I was in transition, and
Mrs. Crawley.
Mrs. Crawley, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, she was horrible, and I had these like super thin. I remember this like as if, like I remember this. It's like etched in my brain. But I had these overalls. I was like a little barrel. I was like a little obese kid when I was little. And I had these overalls that I loved. That they weren't made of jean. They weren't made of like denim. They were like I don't know synthetic or like super elasticy because again I was obese and but I loved them. I was like this little barreling kid in like overalls, and I loved them. Uh, but they were super thin, like really thin. Like you could probably see my clenching butt cheeks, with those things on. So, uh, I remember I was in the back. They put us in the room based on our name, so I was on the back of the room. But right next to me there was this guy who eventually was a friend, but I don't know why he didn't have his colors. Like we all had like our little, pencil bags, like coloring little bags that had all of our colors like in them. And I remember him just asking me for a color. And I was like, dude, it's like the second day. Like, what the fuck? What did you do with your colors? Like, what the hell? Um,
I'm sure not in that language, but yeah.
no, but, yeah, I wasn't saying, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
but he was asking for a color, and I don't remember this part. I don't know if I lent it to him or if I said it like, "Where's your color?" or something. But I was talking in class, and Mrs. Crawley saw me, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're talking." And she went back to the room. She made me stand up, and she had a pointer. She had like a wooden pointer, and she whipped me with that wooden pointer, like in my
Terrible.
yeah, like a bunch of times.
No, terrible.
And I remember it because the overalls were so thin that I felt like she was whipping me, like I felt it. I felt that with the pointer stick. And I remember she made me stand up in front of everyone, and then she did that right next to like my pupitre.
Desk.
Yeah, right next to my desk. And then she made me sat down. I remember my butt like feeling burning, like
Hmm.
from her hitting me as soon as I sat down.
And did people laugh?
It probably well, I remember my school was tough. I remember it's probably like laughter and fear, you
Hmm.
know, both at the same time. That you're saying like, look at this dumbass is getting whipped, but then you're thinking, oh fuck, that could be me. Like that could be me next time. And but I remember thinking this, and I was like, and I never told my parents. I never, like none of those things I ever told my parents. I would get
No,
home and I would be
terrible.
like, yeah, no, I got home. Like I was
But you
school.
will feel terrible.
Well, in my mind, I felt I did something wrong. Like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have talked, or I shouldn't have like turned to my friend and say, yeah, where's your colors? Like,
No, that's terrible. It
I,
it it makes me think about. I've told you about this, but when I was in school, when I was in the sudadera, how do I say it?
oh,
Because we have uniforms. We have like a formal uniform and the one that's
I
for
didn't.
sports.
No, my school didn't. Only
Well,
like
I
for
had.
sports. Yeah.
And it's like a sweatpants and a jacket. And we used like it was a trend to use like some boxers with like cool colors, and you would fold the pants so you could see a stripe of the boxers. So it wasn't like your underwear, but it was like on top of your underwear, and it was like everyone was doing it. And I remember that there was one psychologist in my school.
Psychologist.
Yeah, and she said that that wasn't cool, that that was not like appropriate for girls to do it, because she was okay with like guys doing it.
Oh, we could have her ass hanging out and
And I was
nobody
running,
cared.
exactly. And I was running, I remember, because I was going to class. If I'm not mistaken, I was going to music class. So I would have to pass like in a plazoleta. How do you
Oh
say
no.
that?
Yeah.
It was like a square, and I remember it was like two grades older than me. The boys would be having like gymnastics there. And I was like running to my class, and she like screamed my name. She was like, Daniela. And she approached me, and I had no idea what was happening, because I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then she just like looked at me, and she took my pants, and she just like took them out,
She
like
pulled down your
pulled them
pants.
down.
Yeah.
And she thought that I would be on my boxers, but she like pulled them down, and I was on my underwear. So I was like super fast to try and grab them, and I just like pulled them up, and I was like, what are you doing? And then she was like, this is for you to know that you can't be showing your boxers. And I was like, you just like you just made me show my underwears. What's wrong with you? And I remember that she started trying to say that it was my fault because I moved, and then because she was trying to do something, but then something else happened. And I remember I just said that, and my eyes just like were full of tears, because I knew that everyone had just seen my butt in there. And I just like put my pants and I run. And I remember I told my mom, and she was so mad, and she went to the school the next day.
Oh, I get her fired in a second.
And no, and she was fired, and she
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
you are crazy.
Yeah.
You
Insane.
And she was like, you could have just like, I mean, because I was scared, because I was like, I mean, I could have been naked there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing anything, I remember. And I was feeling so bad. And all that day I was feeling so ashamed. And I also remember then I went to have lunch, and I saw the same guys of the class that were having gymnastics, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
couldn't
fuck
see
that,
them in the
yeah.
eyes,
No,
because
it's
I knew that
horrible.
not only them, but the teacher have seen me in my underwear. Like everyone saw me in my underwears. And also it was like a square where there were like the classrooms would have a window that would be like pointing to that square that I was crossing. So I remember in my head I thought that every single person in the school have seen me in my underwear. And I felt so bad. And I remember after that, like I was okay. It wasn't that bad. But in that moment I felt
No, that woman is insane.
terrible. No,
Like,
and I remember
she's objectively
no, and the
insane.
school was so mad at her,
Yeah. That's crazy.
because they were like, what happened? And she was like, no, 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 it wasn't like that. It was a mistake, because I grabbed it, and I grabbed it bad, but I just wanted to show her that it's not okay.
Yeah.
And I remember the principal of my school was like, you know what? You as a psychologist should have told us that this happened. So you would you should resign for doing this. Because they were like, we have you here for being like a safe zone for kids, and you're doing this. And I remember they were like feeling so bad for me. And every single teacher that knew about what happened, they were feeling so bad for me. So I felt like the support of all the school, but she was just an asshole. So
There we go. Yeah.
I'm sorry, yes. But
No, she's going to the same hell that all the nuns that were in my school are going to. Don't
yeah.
worry.
And I remember she like trying to justify. And she was like, it was your fault because you moved. And
Oh, she's probably
I was
like a
just
little
like
kid,
grabbing my pants. And I
nah,
was
she was
like,
probably like scared shitless when she realized what she did.
no, terrible. And also, I mean, she screamed my name so loud that I'm sure that people that wouldn't even notice what happened
Now they
did
would
notice.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because they were looking. Like, I remember like I stopped running and I was like, what happened? And she was like approaching me very mad. So I remember that there were people looking at what was happening. And then this happened.
She
so.
probably hated that she couldn't wear those boxers. Like she probably
Maybe.
loved like the idea of wearing boxers like that so much, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
That she was that resentful.
Yeah, but that was. And I remember my friends because I got back to the class I was going and I was late. And my eyes were like super puffy because I was crying. And they were like, what happened? And I was like, nope, nothing. Because at the moment I didn't want to tell anyone. Because I was like, the rumor's gonna spread that I was in my underwears. Like in front of everyone. But I think it was at like that bad that no one talked about it. Because everyone knew that it was mean.
Oh,
So.
yeah. And if you have to take a mean teacher down, everyone's up for that.
Yeah. She wasn't even my teacher. She
It
was a
doesn't matter, but it's
psychologist.
like-
She was like analyzing the psychologist of
Yeah.
kids and
Yeah, she had issues.
yeah. Let's see. Gino, that one. How would you say that twin
Oh, I don't know cuz I don't know.
or that twin?
Yeah.
Was saying, I'm grateful I didn't get spanked as a child. I was just placed in the timeout table for the entire year or faced the wall when I got in trouble.
Timeout table for the entire year?
What's that?
What? Dino,
That's terrible.
that is worse. I would like just spank me lightly.
No.
It's like where's
Physical
is it
aggression
Gino?
is
Dino?
never.
Gino?
Gino, yeah.
It's
Gino?
like where's
K-E-N-O.
Yeah, where's Gino? Oh, he did the timeout table throughout 4th grade.
Yeah, and where is it?
Yeah.
Where's the timeout table? Oh, in the
Oh,
in
here's the lock and
lockers.
key.
In the lockers.
Yeah, here's the lock. It's just where we keep all the where the janitor keeps all the cleaning supplies.
Nicholas Mijarovich was saying, these stories are terrible. What the hell?
I know.
Yeah. Gino was saying, LOL. Liad was saying, I hated school. I'm dyslexic. I would just sit in the back of the class and draw all the time, even though I was in advanced math and physics and computers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad schools are just
Yeah. No, and
they're traumatic. School is traumatic.
Yeah, but I have to say I loved my school. And I also feel that there were, like in that case, the one that I was sharing with you guys, she was wrong, but she was acting on herself. And I think that when the school knew about that, they reacted in the best way they could for me. Because I think that there are schools that a teacher do that and they just like
Oh, they
support
would protect them,
the
yeah.
teacher. Yeah. So I know that if that would have happened, my mom would be like, hell no. We're changing you school right now. Like
yeah.
we're changing schools right now. So Gino was saying it was in kinder and it was an isolated table that's right in front of the teacher's desk. Oh no, but I know that. I know
It's like,
that.
let me keep an eye on you.
No.
Gino.
No, I know that, but I think that's not like the, how was it?
Timeout table.
Timeout table. I think that's not the name they had it, but I remember there was like a section when I was in like pre-K and pre-kinder, kinder, and transition. That's the name we have here in Colombia for those grades. I remember that there were some tables, but it was like for the teacher to help you more. So it was cool because you could be the one that decided to sit there if you felt you were not being able to understand, or they will sit you there. But it wasn't like portrayed as a bad thing, I remember.
Hmm.
So I think they managed that very cool in my school. Very cool in my school. Um, Corey Krumnecker was saying, I agree that some people just shouldn't be in a position to abuse power dynamics, especially where their actions affect the developing minds of children. 100%. Yes. Javier Ugarte dice, Nicolás,
Señor?
¿podría ser Dani la mujer más retratada en la historia del arte?
No.
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 Sí.
Sí. Respuesta corta, no.
No.
Respuesta larga, claro que no. Javier. ¿Qué está tomando Javier ahorita?
No,
¿Yo?
creo que algo que lo hace delirar.
Yo un machita que se me acabó ya. Liad was saying, Nicolás, Dani, for your classes, will it be first come, or is there going to be an application process where you determine who you think would be a good fit for your class?
Oh, crap. I haven't thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Mm.
We would have all the specifics of our course on December next year. On December.
I know it makes more
Not next year in December.
Yeah,
but
Danny.
this
Please.
year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Yutaki, please.
No, don't say that. Now I'm sad again.
I know it makes more sense to do it on a case by case basis, to do some sort of like
application form.
Yeah, some sort of, that you can say, hey, this is subjected to our judgment to see if it's a good fit. Oof. I don't know. I mean, it makes more sense because then you know that the thing is, then you know that the people that are there are like totally into it. But I'm guessing if you're willing to pay,
if you apply,
if you're willing to pay for something like that, and you read it and you understand what it means, what it takes and what it is, it's like, I mean, that shows a sense of commitment that it's like more than enough for me. And I've always, I don't know, we're so like inclusive with our painted lives. Like we've never had like barriers to entry for anything.
And I would
really
like if maybe someone would understand that as we're
rejection.
saying it's exactly.
Yeah,
like,
me neither.
No, it's
I don't like that.
It's not
feeling.
enough.
No,
because it could be because of a ton of reasons.
Yeah, no, it's open for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
I think we have to talk with Danny, but I think we're so much in the same wavelength regarding
Yeah.
these things that I think, honestly, I think we're both gonna be of the mindset where it's like, no, we don't like that. It's gonna be, hey, it's up, and it's first 10, 12 people that can register. That's gonna be
And it's
it.
for every single person, like
each every level.
Individual. No. Each individual to like see if they think it's a good fit for them, but not for us to say no. So yes, but you're not gonna be part of it.
You know where I could see the audience being a little different? I've thought about, Leah, doing like entry course for painting. Like, hey, you just started painting.
Yeah, and that makes sense
And
to have like a
I would be like, you are going to feel
application.
safe here. You're going to be super safe here. Like, this is for people who just started painting. I think that if you make that clear, it's like, yep, I'm going to feel way more comfortable in this class than in that other class. And that's totally fine. That's totally understandable. But I would much rather do things like that don't separate people, based on their potential or what I, when Danny and I sit down and look at a portfolio and judge it, it's like, no, I don't know. I just don't, no, no, no. I much rather, if you go into one class, understand, okay, this is geared more towards the ability that I have right now or the experience that I have right now. And then you feel cool about it. You feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is me. I don't want to, I don't feel comfortable being in a class where people have more experience because I don't have more experience. And then you decide. But I think it's better like that and
Yeah.
not just us. I don't know. I just rejection can be such a tough thing to overcome in the art world
Exactly. Yeah.
that maybe you're looking forward to something and to then feel like, oh, I guess I'm bad enough to not even be able to learn something.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's tough.
And also, I think that, I mean, to be honest, in whatever level you're at, you can learn, and you can learn a lot.
Of course.
A lot. So I do think that it's unfair to say, no, you don't. Because it's like, as you were saying, it's like saying to someone, you can't learn about what I'm going to teach.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Why? Why would we assume that you can't learn? So, yeah.
What time is it, Daniel Ira?
It is 12:25.
Okay, we're good. My mother has been ringing like crazy.
Do you want me to call her? I could do it in a
She's
rush.
asking because my nephew is it's their birthday this afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't know that I have to go pick Fer up.
Uh-huh.
So if you could just tell her that I need to go pick Fer up at school.
At 4.
Yeah, like close to 5.
Yes.
And so that it's and that Samu has like a doctor's appointment. So no. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna read this comment and maybe you can talk
Yes,
about.
please.
Liet was saying, Nicolas, Danny, right? But getting a group in the same level can be beneficial to the group.
Sure. You're right. There's pros.
So
I think there's pros to all of it. There's pros to saying, wow, this is amazing. But I'll give you an example, Liat, which is pretty, like, I think it's very cool. I have been very blessed to have super talented artists take some of the workshops that I do. And it always makes me nervous because when I see them, in the workshop, I'm like, why is she here? She's better than me. Like, I always get that feeling with Anastasia Pollard. She can paint circles around me, and she has taken my workshops twice, and I have no idea why, because she is a fantastic painter. And it's just, when we have those groups, there may be people like Anastasia that are just incredibly talented. I mean, Simon Davis, when I went to Liverpool last year, he was in that workshop too. Simon is an incredible professional. Like, he's amazing with everything he does, painting, his comic book stuff, narrative like work. He's incredible. Simon was there. And there's also people that are like kind of starting out. And it's so amazing. It's so beautiful to see a group where, I always tell them, like, we should be grateful that we have, like, people. You guys don't really have to listen to me. We can learn from a ton of people that are in here because they are just insanely talented and full of experience. So it's almost like a gift to a lot of the other people that are attending the workshop to just have those, great professionals there also. And everyone benefits from it. So if you're starting, you're like, holy shit, I'm in a class that's full of like great painters. And you do have to overcome that thing where you go like, I suck. I suddenly suck because everyone around me is like really good. But once you overcome that, that is a very human thing to feel. You then realize, wow, the opportunity to be in this space, watching all these like talented people work is incredible. And I like that. So, it kind of echoes the feeling that I had when when I first went into Steve Assel's class at SVA, that I was second year, but the people that were in fourth year were already painting there. And, you could take it as they either make me feel stupid because they are 2 years ahead of me, 2 years of painting ahead of me, and I've never painted before, or you could see it as, wow, these people are people that I can also learn from. That if Steve is busy, I can talk to and ask questions to. So it's really, really cool. It's really good. So there are, like, I can totally understand an argument of saying, like, hey, this is advanced painting. Um, I get it, but I'm also of the mindset that says when you hear somebody who's just starting out receive criticism, it may be the most basic fundamental of criticism, but it's also a reminder that painting is pretty much that for all of us. Like, it doesn't have to be, painting doesn't suddenly become hugely complicated. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Um, Great paintings can be kind of deciphered through very simple formulas. They like, paintings don't get just complex as time goes on. It's not as if in the high Renaissance we painted simpler paintings, and at the end of the 19th century they got more complicated. And right now we are just like crazy. We're doing things that nobody could ever understand. No, it's like paintings were difficult then, and paintings are difficult now, but they are based and they're constructed upon the same kind of stepping stones. So I don't know. There's something really nice to when you remind yourself that painting is that basic and is that fundamental, that you can hear somebody's you can hear a critique that's done to somebody else, that you could say, well, I have way more experience than this other person, but maybe what like a very fundamental thing that is repeated to them is the thing that you needed to hear.
Hmm.
That's, I think that that's nice.
And also, I don't know if you've said this because I was out, but also someone's approach
Yeah.
could be like someone's approach to a subject matter, even if they're starting, could be an answer for you
Oh,
to
yeah.
for the things you are like overcomplicating in your head. And I think it makes you grow a lot to like to understand that you can learn from every single person that's there.
Oh, yeah, of
Not
course.
even think about like what level is it. It's like, oh, how long have you been painting? Okay, so I won't learn from you. No, of course not. Of course not. So Corey Krumnacker was saying it's almost lazy teaching to discount a less experienced student.
Yep.
Everyone at one time was at the same level of messy mark making. If we pull students up with us, we make a more inclusive community. I love both of your outlooks on this. Oh, thank you, Corey, and you're very right. I think we stand there with you in that argument, 100%. Liad was saying, Nicolas, do you have a platform that you're going to use for the class? So I think all the details would be
Zoom, but
yeah,
but there's no other platform that I could use. So honestly, it's like Zoom. Yeah, it's gonna be Zoom. So it won't be. It's OBS. Like, my Zoom image is gonna be run through OBS, so we can make it nice, and as complicated as we want. But yeah, I'm thinking OBS. I mean, it's worked in the past. It has good audio, good video also. So yeah, we're not like a business or a website that can run their own video servers.
No.
So there's nothing like that. I know that there's places that offer you, those sort of things, like private video servers. Yeah, no. Let's not make things way more complicated and way more expensive than they have to be. So
Yeah, Liad was saying you could use Discord.
I'm
Yeah.
not hugely on no, but I'm not hugely educated on Discord. I was gonna say that.
We have no idea.
When Samu, I've been at times like trying to do some things on Discord, and I have no idea what I'm doing, and I ask Samu, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, you could do this. Like, you could totally do this. You could do this. You could do this." Like, because that's how he does. That's how he did class, but that's more importantly, that's how he hangs out with his friends, while he plays video games. So he is like Discord expert.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can look it up, but it's I think it's, you know, to have those like private chat rooms for that, that's actually like a really, really good idea. And maybe it's something that we can explore. But you know, and that's where we can share like, you know, all the information. The places that I've done virtual workshops with, like the bunch of like galleries and workshops or institutions, or you know, they always have some sort of equivalent to like a file sharing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whatever app, or just using Google to like share folders. Like those sort of things don't bother me. They can be very simple, and as long as like they do their job, that's
Mm.
totally fine. But yeah, we'll look into Discord for sure. We need to. I always feel like pissed off at myself because I'm not at all like a technophobe. I really enjoy learning software and learning, you know, anything that you put in front of me that has to do with technology. I'm like, yeah, I want to learn how to do this. Um, but I don't know, for some reason, because Discord has never been part of like my life. I don't. I haven't paid enough attention to it, and I haven't given it the attention that it may deserve. So yeah, so maybe this little break that we're gonna have is an opportunity to learn a bit from that, and to see if we can handle it again in a very simple, organized manner. I think that, you know, for as much work as we've done, our painted lives has always felt like, you know, it's like um, spit and dreams holding it together. That's all it is. It always feels like it's about to fall apart. And I know that a lot of people would be like, yeah, you could be a little more professional. And I'm like, yeah, or I could just concentrate on the painting aspect of it and not really care about other stuff that's perfectly fine. You know,
I
if
love
it
how we
works, if it works for me, I'm the sort of person that, hey, this works and it's simple.
and it
And
works for
hey,
us.
are you guys seeing this image? Yes. Were you guys able to download all the images that I sent you? Yes. It's like perfect, great. We don't need anything else. Like, if I'm using an app, I want to show you something while we're talking. Can I show it to you? Can you see? Are you able to see it? Yes. Great. That's all, honestly, that's all I need. Like, that's literally all I need. Like, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you guys see this? Yes. Great. Done. It's like done. And I'm gonna put all these images in this folder. Can you guys see this folder? Yes. Okay. You can download anything you want from that folder.
Hmm.
Great. That's it. Like, honestly, like doing this can be complicated, and I'm sure that there's things that have already been like streamlined to do it a little bit easier. But it doesn't mean that like older tools or older ways are just like, you know, they're just fine. They're totally fine. They're totally fine. But yes, thank you, Liat. We're gonna definitely look into it.
So let's see. Liad was saying Discord would have a lot of great features for this. You could have a private area and students could have their own area to post and share. Discord is like Zoom and forums and chat and Patreon combined in one.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely will
We'll check.
educate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll check it
Again,
out.
a lot of this, Liat, is based on just my own ignorance about it. So definitely have to learn a little bit more.
Leslie Cavazos Garduño
Gavazos Cartuño.
was saying, I have always learned by listening and watching everyone in the workshop. Sometimes we need to hear that what we know already, and sometimes seeing how the working process can be nurturing and interesting.
Yes, very true.
Cody Winnicky was saying, survived the preschool parking lot chaos. Also, I started a Discord for my school, and my students are really getting into it.
Yeah, like for sure. Well, I was gonna suppose it was like a younger generation or anything, but no, that's how a lot of people are hanging out right now. I can see it with Samu. That's like that is his place for hanging out. Like he always says to me, "Dad, I'm socializing." Like, what are you talking about? So, because he could be playing like a video game, and he's in his Discord with, you know, 15 other kids that are doing like each one of them is like doing something different. Like they don't have they could be playing 15 different video games, or they are doing their homework together, or and it's really cool. I I'm fascinated by how, that works. And maybe I have to, ask Samu to give me intro. Like, okay, show me this, because he's old enough now that he can do a ton of things that I thought I was better at doing, when he was younger. He can do them better than me now. So I have to sit down with him and say, okay, teach me about this.
Mario J was saying, "Hi, Nicolas and Danny. Are there any classes you want to take?"
Oh, I would love to. I always say that if Peter Brown taught uh plein air,
Oof.
oh my god, I would just jump on that, like, without thinking about it. For years I've wanted to take like a Spider Zero like creature sculpting class,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been so insecure about taking it because I don't know how to sculpt. And I mean, I've done sculptures, but I don't really know how to sculpt. I've done like, probably like 4 sculptures in my life, but I'm self-taught, and I just don't know how to do it. So I'm very, very insecure about it. Um, but I adore it. Like, if you told me like one class that I want to take, it's like Simon Lee. It's like 100%. But the bad thing is, like, we don't have like the clay. We can't get the clay here. And sometimes, trust me, like, I tried to do our armature, and we can't even get the wiring here for armatures. Like, we have to like try to use whatever we can, which I'm sure would be fine if I told him like, hey, I couldn't get that wiring, I had to use this, or I can't get that base and that tubing for the support, but we had to make up this with like wood or something. I don't know. I think he would be fine. I think he would be like, dude, that works. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, don't let that stop you. Because I would be the same as a teacher. I would be like, don't let that stop you. It's okay. And I'm sure if I told him like, I can't get that clay, but I got this, he would be like, oh, okay, that's horrible, but we can work with it. Like, I'm sure if you give Simon Lee some Play-Doh, he could sculpt circles around everyone. Like, it doesn't matter. So in the same sense, I always tell people like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you can't get great paint or great brushes. Like, who cares? Um, I think I have a feeling that they would be the same way, and they would totally understand that it's not the same materials. But I'm still insecure. I'm still super, super insecure about it. But yeah, I would love to. Like, there's a side of me that the reason that I love like statues and figures is because dude, if I could be born again, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be a weird one. If I could be born again, and you told me that I could work hard to be that artist, like a traditional sculptor first, or a 3D sculptor, doing like working for whatever Hot Toys or Sideshow, doing, or Prime Studio or Queen Studio, doing like all these incredible sculptures, I would be like, I'd give it up. And if you told me like, yeah, you can't paint ever again, I'd be like, dude, done. I'm done. Like, yes. Where
Mm,
do I sign?
but I think that then you would be wanting to be a painter.
Maybe.
You
Well,
would
yeah,
be
maybe
saying,
I'm
if I
saying
had
this.
another life, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
maybe.
be.
Maybe I'm saying this from a life that I've been able to enjoy painting.
Yes.
But oh, Danny, but I would give it up. I would, like, right now
No,
I
I
would give
think
it
if
up.
you could clone yourself and you could be a
Yeah.
sculptor, you would be fine with it. But if it's giving up painting,
Like
I don't
pie
think
in the
you're.
sky, the life that I would love, like, if I could take like 2 years off and I could go to all these courses and then just have like, clay and armatures, and like make my own Hellboy. Like, I don't even care of doing like licensed work. Like, I don't care. Like, this would be like, I wouldn't even try to sell like a statue. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just
Yeah, well, but you need to live.
yeah, exactly. Like, so pie in the sky. So this is like perfect scenario. You have enough money to waste for 2 years. Oh my god, I would love that. I would really love
It would also be very cool to go in, like, when we can arrange it, to go and have David Simon's
that.
sculpture
Yeah, yeah,
in Rome. I know
yeah,
it's
it's
complicated, and I know we
difficult.
can't do it right now. So
Yeah,
I know that,
I
but it
know.
would be very cool
I know. It's just,
to go to that class together.
yeah. I don't want to, like, this is. I mean, my kids are the reason, but they're not. I don't want to make it sound like because they're the reason
Oh
I'm
no, but
resentful,
also
because that's not the point here.
No, and money also. It's
But
time and money.
yeah, you know, doing that class would mean that we would have to just be for 4 weeks in Rome. And I mean, that's a little too long
Yeah.
um, to be far from my kids.
Yeah.
And that's a little too much that it starts to become like a really expensive trip.
Yes.
Even though David is like this tremendous sculptor
Yeah.
and a
And
fantastic
super
teacher.
nice.
Yeah, as good as you want a great sculpture teacher to be. So yeah, I would love that. I really would.
I've been thinking about, because I've been research in the internet
Yeah.
to
Oh,
see.
researching in the
Ooh.
internet. What is this? What is this internet that you're talking about?
But because I'm not looking for classes,
Yeah.
not like classes, like live classes with a feedback,
Yeah.
or like in real life classes. But I would be interested, and I've been looking for
Yeah.
maybe some like Japanese sculpting videos,
Oh,
which I think are
nice.
mesmerizing.
Yeah.
And I would love to just like see it, because I do love to work while I see someone else work. That's maybe why I also love Our Painted Lives so much.
Oh.
Because I would be like the first that just like log into the streams. I don't know if you say log, but like
No. Yeah.
connect to the stream. No, just like be like, I would love to.
You sound older than me, Danny.
Yeah, I always sound older
Yeah,
older
you were
than you.
born old.
But I would log into
Yeah.
some videos like that, or I would love to have that company to feel like I'm learning while I'm doing something. I love that. So I'm not looking at this moment to go to any course
Mm.
or to do those things because of a lot of things. But
Okay.
but I think that's cool. I would love to find something like that.
Oh, we can find those videos.
No, I'm looking
Yeah.
for it.
Definitely.
Let's see. Mario J was saying, I would love to hear your opinions on something.
Please.
Do you think there's a point where an artist should stop taking classes and focus on growing on their own?
Yes.
Yeah, but I also think that it depends too.
So my quick answer would be yes.
Yeah,
The
but
more elaborate answer, which is probably the real answer, and it's what life kind of feels like, is that every time I've done dozens of workshops throughout the world, you always meet people that are seeking for something different. Like, even though you're going to give the same, like, it's going to be the same workshop for the people that are attending. So there's 20 people there. It's like the 20 of us are going to do this. And, we're working under the same roof and we're, the same objective. But every single time you get to talk to people and meet people, you realize that everyone seeks something different because they are at a different time in their lives. Like, their lives have taken them to different, really strange, weird, different places, because that's what life does. And they felt the need to look for something, something by finally convincing themselves that, yes, I'm going to do this workshop. So I'd say real life scenario is that you can never suppose that people are done learning. That, like, you can never just tell somebody, hey, you're fine, just go out on your own, like, you're fine. You never need to be put in a learning experience once again. That's not true. I don't think that that's true. I do think that at some point you have to rely upon yourself for like, you can't expect to always hear from the criticism of somebody that you respect. So at some point I had to say, I have to give up on wanting to know the input of what, Steve or Max would think about my work. At some point, it was healthy to do that because I needed to just be convinced about what I was doing. I needed to, if I was going to make discoveries about myself, it was because I had done those things. And if I had to, stumble and fall because I messed up on, things that I thought I understood, I had to be the responsible one. So you had to be responsible for the good and for the bad. You had to risk those things. And you have to. I think that is very true. That is part of everyone's path. Like there is a time when you say, okay, goodbye. Like, you know, you kick somebody off the nest and you say, yeah, go do your life. Be amazing at what you do. Show other people why you love what you do. That's super, super important for sure. But there are times that you feel like you want to learn something.
Hmm.
Like I've I love like the experience of learning something new, of like saying, "Oh wow, look at look at what she's showing us." Like I've never tried to do this way. Like that's amazing. I think there are you could perhaps understand them as the same process, but when in fact they're probably two different things. Like the self growth that you have to go through when you're an artist is one thing, but it's not mutually exclusive to wanting to learn other things.
Hmm.
But yeah, at some point you have to see yourself not as a perpetual student that seeks validation from somebody else's critique. I don't think that that's good. That I don't think that that's healthy. But you also have to see yourself as somebody who doesn't know everything and who is
Hmm.
constantly learning. So I think they're two different things if you
Yeah.
really think about it.
Yeah, and I also think that it, as you were saying, it depends on the personality of what people need to be producing things. Because I do think that there's people that they grow by interiorizing the knowledge at their own time in their studio, like on their own.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's also people that need to be pushed by classes and knowledge and new people and new spaces. And not even that, but sometimes it's not like they are relying on someone else's feedback to work, but there's people that need to feel that they are in an atelier or in a shared studio or in a space that they're surrounded by more artists, so they can like push themselves to work. And I do think that's the case for many people,
Right,
that
right.
they just like seek for that spaces, those spaces, even though it's not because they are relying on someone else's feedback.
Yeah, it's almost like I know that if I'm here, it's like no excuses. Like it's the fact that I'm here shows that I'm 100% in.
Exactly.
And you're right, some people need that. Some people are like, I know myself, and if I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to push myself.
Yes.
Like it's very tough for me to push myself. But I know that if I take myself out of like my own day to day, and if I tell myself, okay, I'm going to travel and I'm going to go to this weird place to take this weird ass workshop, like that is what I needed. Like that's the jump start that I needed.
Mm, let's see. Mm,
So let's do like 10 more minutes, Daniel
yeah,
Ira.
perfect,
Do you
perfect,
think?
perfecto. Because I'm getting hungry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want that.
No, because I'm not hungry.
What did you
That's
try
a
to do
saying,
that?
no?
What's that?
No, I've heard that. That
What?
people say that they're hangry, like angry,
Oh,
hungry.
that's a thing?
That's a
Oh, I
thing.
never heard of that.
I please,
No, I trust you. I just never heard of
please,
it. I'm
please.
I'm a
You
little
have
bit
to
better than that.
get to date with your sayings.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's outdating me by saying that, but uh Steve Witt was saying, I learn a lot about my own painting when I teach others.
Oh, yeah. Like that I didn't touch upon. But for 12 years I taught at the art faculty, and I probably taught other workshops 3 years before that. Um like I wasn't going to a workshop, but I have never learned so much in my life. Like I wasn't really taking classes and I wasn't going to any particular workshop, but teaching itself is, if you are the teacher, I think if you're doing your job properly, oh my god, you are learning as much or probably more than, all of your students combined with, every single class that you're giving. It's incredible. Incredible.
Oh, Um.
You okay?
Yeah, I was zipping up my jacket,
Yeah.
so that was the sound.
Okay.
Cody was saying regarding the Discord
Yeah.
of his students. Cody was saying, no, almost all of my students are retired professionals.
Look at that. That's awesome. Oh, okay. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I love tools that are, you know, for the old, for the young, for the people that are completely ignorant about them, for the people that, use them as part of their lives. Like that's super cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to look into it then.
Leslie Cavazos Garduño was saying, I'm always handy, haha. What?
Leslie, ¿qué está pasando?
So, wrong chat? Leslie,
Yeah.
maybe? Elijah was saying, hello, love your fit, Danny. Oh, thank
What?
you. My fit, my outfit.
Oh, what? Okay. I just heard love your feet, Danny.
No,
I'm like, Danny,
feet,
when did
feet.
we broaden our
Yeah,
enterprise?
I'm just like robbing my.
And why am I not
my
seeing this money? Like, I mean, it's
yeah,
yours.
I'm
Like,
rubbing
I
the
don't want to
mic
take
with
anything
my
that's
foot,
yours, but
so
I want to
that's
at
why
least
they're
enjoy
saying
it.
that.
Like, you could take me out.
No, so Elijah was saying, love
Newfound
your
money.
fit. Thank you so much, Elijah.
Yeah.
My outfit. And they were saying, hi, Nico and chat. And they were also saying, the painting is looking so beautiful, Nico.
Oh, thank you. Very kind. Hey, it's pretty.
Oh, Leslie Cavazos was saying, hangry. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm always
yeah,
handy. It's like.
Leslie being handy whenever we need them, and then people complimenting your feet. I was like, okay, this is. I think I must have
Yeah.
missed a couple of weeks here because I don't know what this is devolving into or evolving. Who knows?
Ooh,
2023.
No, thank
2020
you.
feet.
No. Rosaline Dion was saying, I was thinking the green is so pretty on you, Danny, as well. I thank you. I thank you, Rosaline. And thank you, Elijah. You're so nice.
That would have hit different if it was the greenest, so it looks so nice on your feet. It would have been like, oh, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah, that would
I
be
mean, I'm
like a
into it, but it's
request
kind of
of
nasty.
like those
Yeah, you got to charge more for that.
web pages with people that like feet.
Those webbed feet.
Webbed feet?
Yeah.
Let's see. Carla Anglada was saying, Danny, do you sculpt with clay as well as wood? No. No, I don't. I
have a
I-
feeling that I'm sorry to butt in, Danny,
Yeah,
but
go.
I have a feeling. Who was it asking?
Carla Anglada.
Carla, I have a feeling she would be amazing at it. Like
Ay,
Danny's
thank
just
you. No,
really.
you're just so nice.
She's just super handy and super like resourceful. So if you give her like a kneaded eraser, she can do something cool. If you give her Play-Doh, she can do something cool. Like she just has that in her. If you give me Play-Doh, I mix all of it and I turned it purple. Thank you. That is the range. That is the range of my ability right there. But no. So I'll answer for Danny on this one because I think she's a little hesitant, and I don't know if she sees like the true potential that she has regarding those things. But I think
you're so nice.
she has very much like a DNA of a sculptor. Like I think she can sculpt with anything. To be honest.
Thank you. But no, I haven't. I mean, I went for maybe 2 months. Every Saturday, I think. It was a teacher that I had, and he did ceramics. So I did like a couple of ceramics, but it was more like an open place where you can do it. It wasn't like a class. And back in art school, I wanted to do the double program. I don't know if that's
Sure.
good way to do a translation, but like the double program with sculpture, with ¿cómo se dice?
What's that?
Era gráfico audiovisual y
Oh, okay.
se me fue el nombre.
Plástico.
Pero
Yeah.
es que ¿cómo se dice eso?
Oh no,
Yeah, like
fine arts. I mean, it's a super weird
yeah.
translation.
So I went for like drawing
like graphic
like graphic, yeah.
arts. Yeah,
And I would have wanted to do both, but I didn't at the time because I also thought, I mean, it was going to make it like
longer,
longer,
like a
yeah.
year. Was it like a year? A year?
No, it
One
was a
more
little
year?
bit more
Oof.
because you could have, like, there were classes that you could do one class that would work for both,
Yeah.
but then there were classes that didn't work for both. And I remember when I wanted to, there were classes that I needed to take that would, like, the hours would clash with the classes
Oh,
I would have to take.
tough.
So I thought it was going to be like a year and a half more,
Oof.
and that would mean a lot of money for my
That's more
parents.
money. Yeah, that's a lot of
So I was
money.
like, you know what? I'm just going to grab the electives that I can that have to do with sculpture or like with fine arts. I couldn't take a lot, but yeah, I was always inclined to sculpting. I love it so much. And that's why I decided to do carvings for my thesis. Uh Even though I had no idea what I was doing, because I just love it. I don't know, it's like yesterday we were talking about how some things feel like a primal need, and I feel that in me. As you were saying, I mean, you could give me like a kneaded eraser, and I just like feel like my hands are moving and doing something. Like it's like a need. I don't know.
A need to need the eraser?
Yes. Uh, Rosaline Dion was saying, ha ha ha, feet. And Elijah was saying, LMAO. Yeah.
I mean, if it gets to that,
But how would you, I mean, feet?
yeah.
Fit.
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 Yeah. Just short,
No,
fit,
but
fit, feet.
just say, I love your feet.
Yeah, the hardest one is to differentiate feet as a painting feet. The raft of the Medusa is a painting feet.
But say, I love your feet.
I love your feet.
Feet. Like your outfit.
I love your outfit.
No.
I
So
love your
please
fit.
say, I love your fit as in outfit, and then say, I love your fit as in your.
Well, first of all, I never say that.
No,
well,
but
I
say
don't
it,
never
say
say
it,
I
say
love
it.
your outfit.
Say it,
But
because
I would
I
have to
want
say
to.
fit.
So say it.
I love your fit.
No,
'Cause
now
it's
you're
like-
saying, I love your.
No, I have to think about
fit.
it because I never
No,
say
just
it.
say it quick. I love your
Why
fit.
would I say it quick?
I love
never
your
say
fit.
it. I
I
never
love
say
your
it.
fit. I love your fit. They sound so.
Okay, this is like getting like flagged.
No. It's just like it sounds so similar
No, I
that
don't
it
know.
wasn't like a pronunciation thing, but.
It could be our tagline could be like our painted lives. We paint from our soul.
Oh no!
I think it's really good. I think that kicks ass.
I'm gonna put you in timeout.
I think that
Your
kicks ass.
mic on
Actually,
timeout.
I think that kicks ass.
Gino, that twin was saying on point with the dad jokes. Cody was saying, I for sure heard fit too. Fit as in pies.
We all
Feet.
hear what we want to hear, Cody. Sick bastard.
Rosalind Dion was saying, always love Danny's feet.
Oh my
Fit
god.
as in outfit.
Oof. I think we just opened a door that we can't really close.
And Gino was saying, reporting you guys for too much feet content. As in feet. As in.
Ass in feet? What are you talking about,
No,
Danny?
no,
Are you
no.
mixing yesterday with today?
No.
Jesus Christ, that's good. We're gonna have to rake in the money.
Rosalind was saying, okay, Nico, that was a good one.
Thank you.
We
I actually
paint
thought
from the soul.
I think that was pretty good. Thank you.
Elijah was saying Pandora's foot. Diego Aunon was saying, you are so funny, guys. I thank you. I thought that someone was gonna comment in our title. Have you guys seen our title today? It's as dumb as we are.
I think so. At least as you are, but yeah.
As you are dumber. No, no, we're both
I think
dumb.
I think it's a battle.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think
say
it's a battle
no.
to the death.
No, it's a
I think
tie.
two stupid people
Super
fighting.
clear tie. Yeah, it's a tie.
I'll let you win it.
No, let you win. Carla was saying there are so many incredible paintings of feet, including some I've seen by Nicolas. I've been enjoying your title. It's the way my mind has been working lately.
We have given up on the algorithm. So now we're just gonna, you know, just do whatever. It doesn't matter.
My God, I remembered something.
What? You
Uh,
suddenly became
I
like
mean,
Mean Girls. Oh
oh my
my
God,
God.
no. So
Don't try to make it.
salmon.
Yeah,
Listen
salmon,
to this.
the
Not
river.
because I'm talking about salmon, but because it's AI, and I thought it was funny. I found that someone like put in, I don't know if it was Mid Journey
Oh,
or
I saw it too.
like
The salmon,
salmon
floating
on the
salmon in the
river.
river. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's the blocks of like cut salmon, like the fillet
Yes.
salmon.
Yeah, I thought it was so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe it's AI trying to be funny.
Yeah. Yes. Let's see. Elijah was saying the pun in the title, Jesus. And Gino, that one, was saying my brain malfunctioned reading your title.
I know it's supposed to break it. We're trying to break the algorithm. It's like
Elijah was saying amazing. Same, Gino. Same. Floating. Oh no. Ha ha ha. So Elijah is reacting to every single thing that's happening because I think it's amazing about the title, then same, Gina, same about the title, and then floating about the salmon.
Oh yeah, that was too much. We got to
No, I
separate
get
those
it. I
things.
get it. I get it.
Yeah, but come on, that's what
I get you
periods are
guys.
for. Just press enter 3 times.
No. It was entered 3 times.
Oh,
But
okay.
you could see.
Oh, your delivery then, Danny.
No.
Leaves a lot to be
So
desired.
I'm not going to say Elijah Kelly was saying amazing. Elijah Kelly was saying same, Gina, same. Elijah Kelly was saying floating, oh no, haha.
Well, you could say regarding blah. Actually, no.
No.
It's fine. It's broken.
Yeah.
It's broken.
Salmon was saying, no, it just put the first images of a salmon and it happened to be a cod salmon. Yeah, but that's very funny. No?
I would love it if there was like a, you know, whatever form of intelligence out there saying like, hey guys, I think this is going to be hilarious. I'm going to spit out this image. And maybe they're like laughing in the back. Like, oh, Carl.
Rohit Kimhavi was saying a question related to this topic. So not about salmon, because it was like
oh, gee, I
way
wanted
before.
to talk about salmon.
Yeah, you don't like.
I've been dying to talk about salmon.
By the way,
yeah.
Fun fact: Nicolas does not like salmon.
Not really. Not my favorite fish.
Not salmon. Not salmon.
Oh, I guess both of them.
Salmon. Yeah. Rohit Kemhavi was saying a question related to this topic.
Yeah.
We look at all these amazing artists for inspiration.
Yeah.
And it forms an ideal. So how could an artist appreciate himself and his uniqueness?
Ooh. Well, I mean, we were talking a little bit about that yesterday, of how we tend to judge other artists differently than we judge ourselves. And I think that's part of the difficulty. I don't think this is like an easy thing to do. I mean, that is one of the things that we have to learn, when we go down that path that, comprises all of the obstacles that that we have set out for ourselves, or that life is going to continuously put in front of us. After we've made a choice of what type of artist and what type of art we're going to do, how we understand ourselves as, artists, what type of life is going to, accompany that artistic mentality. I don't know. I think that's what you're describing is also one of those things that you kind of have to learn how to understand your worth, but you also have to learn how to understand the place that you belong. Like I'm super critical of myself, and I probably lean more towards being harsher on myself than being
tough love.
Yeah, than being a little more fair. But I think it's okay in my case. I think it's really important for me to know where I stand. Like I know what I can do. I'm not speaking about being better or worse than anyone, but I know the things that I'm capable of, and I know the experience that I've had throughout the years. However it may be, it may be limited when compared to other people's experiences. but it is mine. It is my experience nonetheless. So I value my experience. I value all the things that I've had to deal with as an, young artist, as a more mature artist. Um, but I also have, and I also hope that life never takes that away from me. I also have the clarity of mind to know when somebody else is doing things that I'm never going to be able to do. Like I also know my own limits. And I also know when either somebody asks you to do something and it's like beyond your experience, your ability, your know-how, and it's okay to say I don't know how to do that. I I feel that I check myself constantly regarding those things. Like literally like constantly. This is something that's like super important for me to just know and like to tell myself, dude, know your place. Like sometimes um I remember when I was younger, it was very audacious, I would say. And I had this premature idea of the artist that I thought I could be. I'm being very kind to myself with those descriptions, but I sent my like the first book that I did, I sent it to Forum Gallery in New York. Because I always thought this is the gallery that I want to be with. And the only reason that I thought that this is the gallery, it's because it was the gallery where I saw Steve Assell's show, and I thought his shows were amazing. And it's the gallery where I saw who else was there? Who else would they show? Nelson Shanks, and they would show Odd Nerdrum, Paul Faniak, Desiderio. So it was such a, it was a place that was so just full of like these crazy talented artists that felt like, yeah, that's me. That's like my people. That I remember when I was younger, I was like, yep, I'm ready. I'm ready to show them my book as my portfolio. And I'm ready to like say, I want to work for you guys. And I've told everyone, like, I have that letter. I could show it, like, I don't know, not today, but because I have to look for it, but I still have that letter of rejection. And it's a very nice letter of
Yeah, which is
rejection.
very nice that they took the
It's
time
very
to reject
nice.
you.
Galleries nowadays, they don't give a fuck about you. It's like, if you don't hear from us, it's because we don't want to hear from you. But, this was a letter that was signed. It was directed towards me. It's not like, dear artist. No, no, no. It was actually like to me. And it was the gallery director, and he was super super kind. Well, kind in the sense that I've never felt so nicely rejected in my life. It was that kind of cool. But I remember when I got that letter that I said, they're right. I'm not ready for this. I'm not as good as these tremendous artists. Like, I'm not as good as Steve. I'm not as good as Paul Feniak. I'm not as good as like, Nerdrum, top Nerdrum. I'm not as good as that. I'm not as good as Shanks. I'm not as good as Vincent, like Vince Desterio. So it was okay. I think at some point it was okay for me to say, dude, you're a very cool painter. You're a cool artist. What you're doing is important to you, to your process, to your experience. But but it's okay not to be ready for that. Like, it's okay if that gallery is not for you. Just look for another gallery. It's okay. Like, keep looking.
Mhm.
And I think we all deserve to treat ourselves fairly in that way too. To not be pissed if we are just deep down, we know that it's like, no, I'm not ready. I'm really not ready. Like, as good as I can be, I don't think I'm as good as, the level that these other artists exhibit. So I think it's okay to say those things.
Yeah, I think it's important, as you said, that we should learn to be critic of our work. But I also think, as we were saying yesterday, that we are very harsh towards ourselves and we don't see the good things that we could see in others in our own work. So I think that, I mean, relating it to what we were talking about, tough love and being mean, I think you could also be super mean to yourself. So you should evaluate if you're just being honest to what you're seeing or if you're just being mean.
Yeah.
Steve Witt was saying, getting hungry, changing my fit, and cooking salmon.
Oh my God, that was
That's like the summary of our
that's all of
conversation.
it.
Yeah. Um,
So I think after that, Daniel Era.
we're done.
Yeah, I think so. I think what we've painted enough to know that like I can see the direction that the painting took, and I'm far happier with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's deep. I don't know how it looks. I have no idea how
It
this
looks
is looking.
amazing.
But
From here, it looks so cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's like
it's far more intense. I think it's
yes.
deeper. I think the um like the sense of structure plus the color plus this very subtle lighting, it's kind of more grounded. There's nothing like there's no accents about it. You know, it's not as if this bright light that's in the back is giving this rim lighting like a very artificial feel. Everything is just very kind of deep and heavy. It just feels heavy, like it's this soup of a look that you can just really navigate and stay in there for a while. That's a weird analogy, but I'm going to stay with that. So I'm happy. I'm happy in that sense. Color wise, I always wanted to paint this with the Zorn palette. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's there is that degree of control that the Zorn palette gives you that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see myself, like, even if I wanted to get in some of these places and retouch some areas or continue working and developing some form, I can see myself able to do that just because the palette is so small that I can kind of find my way again. So yeah, overall happy. Like, this is it. It certainly, I think it became a better painting. It has slowly, but surely become a better painting. With all the little adjustments and changes that we've made. So that gives me like a sense of peace, of being like, okay, I can see where this is going. But I also I don't know, I can see this painting as something that it's very strangely, because I don't usually do this. I really don't. I'm kind of detached in a very healthy, good way with my paintings, where if I reach something that I know it's not perfect, but I think it's the best that I can do right now, I leave it. I go like, yeah, I'm good with this. Like, let's keep moving. Like, let's move on to something else. But this is a painting that I can see myself like obsessing over stupid little things, like
Mm-hmm.
wanting something to be a little bit more structured, or a little bit, you know, trying to communicate just the how the skin feels a little bit better. So I do think that we can probably go back into it a few more times for
Yes.
sure. Anyways, but that's gonna
Anyways,
be that's gonna be it for today.
yes. So thank you everyone for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you, Daniel Lira.
Thank you, Kokiro, always. You make me laugh. You make me happy.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, yeah. Same.
You're a little bit uncomfortable. Thank you, everyone.
But the same was like I mean
Yeah,
it was
thank you. Same,
it
same.
sounded
Same,
like
same.
please
Same,
don't
shut
talk
up.
to me
Same, shut
more.
up.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, no,
But
I know you.
it was
I love you. I know you.
it was heartfelt.
Yes.
It was a heartfelt same.
Please stop. Yes.
You are torturing me.
Yes. So, again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it would be very cool if you could subscribe. It's super easy. Just clicking a button.
Send us a check.
Clicking
Money
a button.
order.
That's it. So, thank you everyone for joining us. Again, we have Instagrams. They're not in the screen.
What? What are you doing, Daniel Lira?
No, because I have to change that graphic. So
Are they there? I think I
deleted them.
I deleted them.
Yeah, that's why we don't have them here.
But I thought you were making a new one.
I am going to.
Oh,
make them.
okay.
So our
Professional.
Instagram.
Professional. What, are you too busy with your feet endeavor?
Well, no,
your, like,
I'm carving. So
second
yes,
job?
I am busy.
Yeah? Putting all the eggs on that basket.
Don't make me carve your feet. If you continue.
Well,
doing
if we can make some money out of it.
I know.
What?
No, I wrote the.
What did
so
you
we
say?
moved.
Like,
No,
did you say I know as in like I know how to count?
I as in
Or
O.
did you go full like Gloria
like
Pritchett? I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
'cause
there we go.
I was just typing
I
our
know.
webpage.
Oh my god.
And I misspelled our paintedlives.com.
What did you spell? Feet?
Our
Feet.
are painted.
Okay.
So I just yeah.
Yeah.
So ourpaintedlives.com
Mhm.
is our page if you want to check it out. And that's it for today. We're gonna have lunch. Hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Yes.